Hello. Hello, welcome to the streams. Whoop. Hi. I'm Icarus, and these are the streams. Today we will be diving into Final Fantasy Funtime 14, or Final Fantasy 14 with Epsilion, my cousin, or as we call it. Hello, Epsilion. This will be the final dive for a while, because we got Christmas coming up and Christmas stuff and New Year's, so we won't be doing Final Fantasy 14 for a bit. So today we'll be doing as much as we can, and the final dive of 2022. Not true. We got, well, no, not true, because Kingdom Hearts Chronicles starts. I'm gonna get the Twitter up for that. I have to get a little bit up. I have to get a reminder. Well, for you, yeah. Yes, this will be the last Final Fantasy 14. Yes, as Epsilion's saying, where the two of us are in for a little bit. We'll be back in the new year, but we have a lot going on, so we gotta, get that stuff kind of done. Okay. Or you can already hear the game. That's fine. All right, let me go on ahead and get in. Hold on. Gameplay with friends. Boop. And then there he is, but he's frozen because I don't have it up correctly, and he's muted. Okay, now he's not muted. Okay, hello, Epsilion.
Hello.
There he is. Okay, everything's up. Great. Okay, we are here at the place. Oh, look, it's a Santa outfit. Yeah, so because we want to move through, also, for anyone who's like, oh, well, there's Christmas stuff. We've done the Christmas stuff for the past couple of years. It's usually the same event, and I want to move through story. Like, I want to get through the story. I'm good. Do you want to go do it, Epsilion? I figure we're fine, right? Like, it's usually the same thing. It's like, I delivered the boxes.
I've been playing a little bit today, trying to get... okay. There's a delay. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so tongue-tied. There's a delay because I'm listening to your stream. I'm gonna switch back to listening to you because I hear myself, I hear you, I hear your game, so we're all good.
Great. All right. Thank you very much for checking. I appreciate that.
Sorry.
It's really hard for me to do with the stream up.
Yeah.
And Final Fantasy 14 does not like being minimized.
Yeah. Yeah. If you will, did you put it on borderless window mode?
Yeah, we got everything going, so it should be fine. But I don't want to test the waters.
Okay. Good. All right, well, I'm back to having my full audio set up now, and your stream is muted for me. But all right, so yeah, I was doing some stuff today, finishing up some job quests for the Dragoon because I hadn't finished like one last thing.
This is Epsilon. He's wonderful. Look at his armor. He is armor boy.
So this is the armor we got from like disguising ourselves as.
Oh yeah, no, this is the disguise armor. I was not recognizing.
Yeah, it's like the Doman soldiers for the Arlian Empire, but no. So my new armor set. I'll pull that one out so you can see it.
You look.
I look.
Oh, hold on, I didn't do it right. Hold on. You look. No. You look. Where is it? Where's the good one? You look. Where's the good one? Hold on. Where's the good one? You look. Tasty.
Oh. I'm okay. Applying my new.
Gonna ignore it? Gonna ignore it like usual?
Oh yeah. Stonewall. This is the new
That is the end of Gottman's couples therapy. That is the final horseman that usually comes at the end after criticism, contempt, and no, criticism, contempt. I can do this. No, don't tell me. Criticism, contempt.
I couldn't if I wanted to.
God, Stonewalling's the last one.
To grab water.
It's not avoidance. It's not avoidance. Criticism, contempt, blocking? Is it blocking?
Blocking is where you stand on stage.
It's blocking. No.
Theater.
No. I am literally. I'm chancing it. I'm literally going into my study. Hold on. I need this. Where's Gottman? Where the hell's Gottman? Where is it? Gottman.
Oh, I got it. Defensiveness.
That's right. Okay, yes, I knew it was something like moving away.
So fast. Gosh, and the last one actually is stonewalling. Wow,
yeah,
I was just joking when I said that, but that's funny.
If a relationship is at the stonewalling stage, it's usually dead or close to it.
Well, all right. I guess I'll log off. See you.
No, I love you.
Bye, everybody.
Like that. No, we don't stonewall. We talk.
Anyway.
Yeah, what brought up stonewalling? What was it? You're stonewalling my doting.
Yeah, you made it.
This relationship is dead.
Creepy joke. But yeah, this is my new armor. It's a little bit more detailed, like more.
Yeah, I see. Got like the
Things
little
going on.
head wings, and it's more like.
Yeah, it looks like a dragon more. The head doesn't. The mask doesn't have like a visor
It
that
doesn't
most
have a
of the last one
visor,
did.
really?
Nah, they didn't do it on this one for some reason. So I kind of don't like that, but I mean, it looks pretty nice still. So
I can
I'll probably
still
wear it.
technically, I can see your face underneath it a little
Yeah, yeah, you
bit.
can see it like through the edges and stuff. The sides, you can see it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I do like
So-
it. Like it looks like advanced armor. Like it looks like more armored
Yeah,
up
look, we're,
version
like,
of something.
oh, we're late game now, boys. We're late game. Like that's what it looks like to me. That's all I can think of.
I
I saw it.
agree.
It kind of reminds me of Estinians, except for his is more of a black tone. And then now here's the funniest thing. I don't know why. This is the armor they gave me. It's exactly how it comes when they give it to you.
Right.
What color? What color is like the basic color of the armor plating? What would you call that?
Azure.
I mean, yeah, azure, blue, kind of purplish a little bit.
Yeah.
They've changed my name since we're no longer bound to I can't think of the dragon's name anymore.
He's a lancer slash dragoon, by the way.
Dragoon. Yeah. We're no as the like the dragoon, like the like pinnacle of dragoons that Estine and I share the title together. We're no longer considered the Azure Dragoon because we're no longer bound. I can't remember the name of the dragon. We're no longer bound to that particular dragon because he sacrificed himself when we fought Nidhogg.
Right.
In Heaven's Word. And since we defeated Nidhogg, which he possessed Justinian, we had to save him.
Right.
Since we defeated Nidhogg, and we're like closer to dragons than we've ever been, the few dragons that remain, like befriended us even more. Like really, they're like we're part of their family now.
Aww.
And so they think that a name more befitting us is no longer Azure because that's like the stealing of power or something from the dragons more like we're like siphoning it from them, but we're on the same level and they want to share it. So
what is it now? The sharing dragoon?
No, now they're calling us the Crimson Dragoon, but they didn't give me red armor. Like I figured it's gonna be red.
Okay.
But yeah, we're the Crimson Dragoon now. Is the new title apparently?
That's what it is, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. You got a question?
Hi, Mist. Hey, Chris. Ever fought the Rathalos? Did we fight Rathalos Epsilion, or is that like late game past where we are? I can't remember.
In Monster Hunter World, I've never fought him.
Yeah, that's right. No, that's right. He is in this game. There is a. I mean,
I forgot there was a crossover.
Yeah, there's a crossover. We did not, but Epsilion, didn't you? Because you went to a con. Didn't you fight it at the con in here?
I missed the event.
Did Mr. Seti do it? Or like
yes, Valamir 100% did it. Valamir 100% did it.
He plays this game like crazy.
Booby and Mr. Seti might have done it. I don't know if they had the game at the time because they both stopped subscribing or for a little bit, so they might have missed it. So, I know that Mr. Seti mentioned it to me. He was going to look into it and do it, but then I don't know if they actually did.
It's because the game's crossover. We got Behemoth, right? Because we also got a Nier one and some other stuff. We have not done Behemoth. We probably will at some point, but I have fought Behemoth before. I played Monster Hunter. What was the one on the
World?
DS? I did World, but the first one I did was
4 was the DS.
4 or something like that.
Was
yeah.
That 3DS. That's the 3DS or DS. I can't remember which one. Now.
I paid one of those. I was the Bug Glaive on that, and then I switched to.
You're talking about 3DS. That's the 3DS one.
Yes, the one where the Bug Glaive was introduced,
4.
I believe.
Yeah, that's 4.
Yep. So I played 4. I beat all 4, I think. I'm pretty sure. And then I played World for a good bit of it.
I couldn't. I had the original 3DS and I couldn't do it. Like my hand just got cramped so bad. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I had no joy. And like we only met up to play it so often as a group that I just didn't want to do it by myself. And I was like, I'm never doing this. And like I think at that point, World. I don't know what happened with World. I just never got on that. I still haven't beat that yet. We talked about getting on. I played an
okay amount. Miss. So is Rathalos a very hard boss in this game or SMTH? I don't know. What does SMTH mean?
Something probably.
Oh, something. Okay.
Sure.
I think Rathalos is like a major raid, like a difficult raid. That whole thing. I'm pretty sure all of the like special crossover stuff is like high level end game kind of like extra stuff because it's extra. You know, it's like people are bored after they beat the game, so they're like, hey, I have this extra challenge that is going to be really hard, and go do that.
Is it a trial or raid?
I think it's a trial. But we definitely don't have it. I think it only is available at certain times. I know the Nier one you can get at any time, but that's like
about it.
I know the Nier one's late game, like past where we are. I think it's in. I think the near one is post Shadowbringer, but pre Endwalker, if I remember.
Yeah, I believe that.
Missed. It's same thing for Behemoth and Monster Hunter. It's endgame boss. Oh yeah, I remember Behemoth. Yes, I remember Monster Hunter because I think Barambo was doing it with Valamir in Monster Hunter and talking about how much of an endgame fight it was in Monster Hunter. Yeah, because Mr. Seti was always screwing up and getting killed. I remember that. Some things never change. He's just poking, guys. Okay, so, alright, so just to give context, we have our friend group, you know, Barambo. You guys have seen Valamir. He's been on here once. He was in. Mr. Sentiman is another one of our friend group. He lives up north. I'm not going to say where, but he lives up north. And so Mr. Seti is a wonderful guy, but he's very impulsive in a lot of ways. And
aggressive in PvE games.
He's
like
very...
So actually, it's not just in PvE games. I learned this about him from playing Risk with him. He was the type of person who would spread out, have like 2 units on every country, and he thought that was fine.
He wants to be in it. He wants to be in it and be like in the engagement.
You spread too thin, you stretch too far, and you're gonna get screwed. We were playing Darktide last night or the night before.
Oh yeah, how was Darktide?
The same kind of thing happens. Seti just runs off on his own. Like Barambo and I were like back to back, Shachter 2-factoring, doing a good job, and then Mr. Seti is just dead off in a corner. It's like what happened? And he's like, because I get this dog off me. I'm like, well, I can't get to you. There's too many enemies between us. Why'd you run literally the opposite side of this area? Like, how are we supposed to get to you?
So in League, we used to play. Oh, we wasted so many years. He would play top, and he would always exchange with the enemy. But he would exchange like really hard, really early, really often.
Super risky.
And he would make it sometimes. But sometimes wouldn't. And whenever we were asking, what are you doing? He would just be like, I'm just poking. I'm just poking. As a melee champion, diving in as Riven or something, being like, I'm just poking, guys. I'm just poking.
Oh my gosh, this Riven. Just, halfway to second tower, just poking. It's okay.
Just poking, guys.
Like, what are you doing?
Diving with Q 3 times in. Using the dash to engage. Just poking.
Ballpark, he's like 30-70 success rate.
Oh my
30% chance of winning.
He was good when he got it. It's just so funny because you could always count on him to do it. He wasn't mean-spirited. He was just very, I gotta be in there. I gotta be in there.
Sometimes it worked really well because he'd be so aggressive that the enemy top lane would complain and get their jungler to help. So their jungler's distracted. And then usually whoever was playing bot in our group was really good. So we'd always have a good duo on bot.
Looks like what's her name from me.
I don't know what that is. But the duo bot usually could hold their own and usually overrun the bottom lane pretty well.
Which was usually me and you.
Yeah, you, me, or the friend who was pretty good at AD carry and also decent support. But yeah, if it was like the pair of the 3 of us, we were all pretty good. Even you towards the end got better at doing creep kills. Like,
I can last hit.
I mean, my problem was I obsessively wanted to play really terrible ADCs like Ezreal.
He was good after a while, but
there was like a very brief period where he was amazing, and it was like as I was playing, which was great. Like as I played him, he got better, and they gave him a little buff. But then after a while, he got they didn't give me love, and other AD carries came out that were like way better. So yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, memory lane. So the whole point is we used to play games, we still do, but work and life make it harder too. So
yep.
I haven't been getting on because you guys already have 4 for not Vermintide. What's it called?
We have Darktide, and we have like 5 or 6.
Yeah, and second off, I have to study. So yeah.
It's also an FPS, which isn't your favorite genre, so
I'm fine with the Left 4 Dead type though, because it's just kind of cute, fun. But I'm not a big FPS guy.
Yeah, PvE FPS is not too bad for you. Also,
PvP can kill me.
Oh, you have a new rig. You can probably really play that game. Like I can really play it. My laptop my eGPU setup is not good for it because it's so under optimized. Like I don't know what the game's doing with the CPU, but Even Bravo was saying his was like he was getting. I think he said at one point he was getting like 80 frames per second on his rig, and usually most games he's the kind of person who gets like the. I think he has 144 hertz monitors still,
Oh,
and so
yeah.
he would get at least match or 135 or whatever, usually what we try to frame rate cap to. And my setup, I can usually get, on some more modern games, I get like on freaking Cyberpunk, I get like 80 with the setup. So I don't know what they did
man,
in
Cyberpunk.
Darktide. I don't know. Yeah, that runs smooth for me though. If I honestly like,
probably because of all the updates they've had to do to make it run it all.
They fixed a lot of stuff. I mean, well, yeah, the game was not ready when they released it, but now, like after a bunch of the updates, it's fine. I think there's another game that Deep Rock Galactic on this runs like buttery smooth, like it's full frames. My monitors can support 144, so I don't know. Like
maybe it's because it's new and they need to optimize it a little bit.
Yeah, Vermintide had problems too, but not this far. Like we're a month. No, we're not a month in.
I don't think you're a month in.
We're almost 4 weeks in.
Has it really been that long since the release?
Yeah, it launched like the 22nd, I think, or something. So
oh, wow, okay.
Let me see if I can find the date. No, it launched on the 28th of. So we're like a week out or a week and a half out. Yeah.
But anyway, so
it'll be next Wednesday.
So the idea here is we are in Shadowbringers. Once again, for spoilers, everything up to Shadowbringers is fair game. Please do not spoil anything past Shadowbringers or in Shadowbringers that we have not covered because we really, really want to hear it ourselves. We really like the story. We really want to see it. So that's kind of the thing on that.
That's the only thing that drives us to play this game anymore, it seems.
I was very good and didn't say anything. I didn't say anything, guys.
So,
this guy.
I told you that I was doing my job quest. And I had 2 solo duties. And on the first one, I just breezed through, no problem. Second one, I actually had to redo it, and I was like, I'm just going to do easy on this one, because...
Why did you have to redo it, Epsilion? What happened?
The last third or fourth of the fight, like the enemy's health, the single boss health gets down that low. There's some kind of scripted event where the enemy will just instantly destroy. Basically, like I went from having 100% health to like less than like 2%, and then I just died, and it was within like a few seconds.
But it gave you a warning, didn't it?
Yeah. In the text, another character who's in the cutscene or in the not cutscenes, or in the duty,
this tiny text box down here, this tiny thing.
Use your jump your elusive jump to get away and retreat from the fight and heal while I take care of this. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure, whatever. I thought it was just flavor text, honestly, when I read it. And then I realized that it wasn't flavor text, I was like, oh, I'm actually just going to die right now. And I couldn't do anything to get out of the death because I was already taking the damage. Like, there was no, the weirdest
chunking
part, there was no, usually there's like an AoE or something, or some kind of a, attack indicator you can dodge or something that's spatial. This was if you were within the range, like a certain distance of the enemy, it just damaged you. Magic damage. No attack.
Because it's a cutscene, and you're supposed to be ready for it to fulfill the cutscene role. Because that's what this game wants to be.
If you want a player to react quickly during a cutscene, you just do a QTE.
And I know you people are like QTEs. Hey, I've been playing Sonic Frontiers. That shit has QTEs to the bosses. It is smooth. It is smooth. Dude, it does not interrupt the flow. It actually works. And Kingdom Hearts 2 used it decently.
Telltale games, the whole game is QTEs, and it's still amazing.
Most of them.
I mean, other than the dialogue options, but like the actual like high stakes, interactions in the later games, especially the last like 3 or 4 games they made.
Look, anyone who's here, we love you. I want you all to understand. If you love this game, that's great. I'm so glad it has such a great community. It won like Best Community at the Game Awards and Best something else. It's great. Love it. Awesome. Great. Wonderful community. Very kind. Biblical stuff and fellowship. Awesome. Love it. We are here for the story and the wonderful characters and a little bit of dress up for me.
I guess me too, technically.
We are not here for the gameplay. All right? Just throwing it out there, just putting it on there. We're just not just tab target or the above tab target. That's technically tab target, but it's not called that. It's a little more interactive, but it's really not. Whatever that's called, I forgot. Not good gameplay. Just gonna put it out there. Gonna make an objective statement. Not good game design. Bad game design. Not interactive. Not fun. Do not like it. I am sorry.
Let's just go play a mud instead of multi-user dungeon. Come on.
Anyway, we are going to finish the story though, and we do like it, and we're gonna get through, and we're gonna be over-leveled as much as possible to not have to deal with difficult stuff. Okay, so that's where we see it.
I should have like grinded some levels today.
I mean, you're pretty okay. You're 76. That's like 6 levels above where we're supposed to be at this point.
That's true.
We should be fine.
No, we can be like 70, like 1 or 2 easily right now if you're just playing normally.
Okay.
We're a little above, but not that. Like, and it only matters when you're like 10 above anyway. So.
Anyway, let's talk to good old Alphino. So we are in the other Daria, White World, Light World's gonna go bad. Too much light. Defeat the Wardens. Make darkness. Yay! Shadowbringers, hence the name. Make things okay so the natural world that we live in is good. Okay, great. Okay, moving on. Let's go. Well, the Crystarium seems relatively ordered, wouldn't you say? The Exarch's speech must have been reassuring to hear. On the contrary, there's something jubilant in the air, because they have night now. They finally able to experience night. I have a feeling this night won't be quite as peaceful as our hooded friend predicted. I think I should take a brief stroll around the town before retiring to my chambers. Once you've discharged your duty to Bragi, I suggest you do the same. Yes. Sleep well, insert name here. I hope untroubled dreams for you and Alice. Hooray. We have nighttime. Hooray, yay.
What a nice little brother.
What a nice little brother for his sister. Okay, let's go see Bragi.
Bragi is closest to the Musica Universalis. Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we just use this.
Yeah, it's fastest. Thank you. You might be able to walk.
By the way, where's the music? Oh, there it is. By the way, I want to confirm, Epsilion, the most likes we have gotten, the most views we've gotten for the YouTube uploads have actually been these dives. I think it's our talking.
Our discussion points are that
entertaining? I think so. Although the last one was one of the first ever ones I got a dislike on, so that's interesting. It could have been because we were talking about parameters they didn't agree or something. I don't know. Maybe they don't like Marvel. Maybe they don't like Marvel. I know, man.
Do we have the same thing on the screen for too long and it pissed people off?
I'm bragging what you got. That was you, I think.
I think so. What can I do for you? Looking to buy a lantern? Like every other stumbling soul in the city? Oh yeah, because they don't have...
I don't know what... I can't see! I missed the light!
I see. Well, Captain Lina can rest assured that any potions I spot coming in will be set aside for the wounded. Hang on a moment. If you're carrying messages for the guard, does that mean you were there then? Battle of Holminster? A stalwart lad like you might want to pay a visit to the Wandering Stairs, make himself known. I'm sure Galinard can introduce you to some interesting opportunities.
I thought we were supposed to keep it on the download that we were, like, involved.
Yeah, I don't think that was how things were supposed to go.
Oh, well!
Chris said for us not to take ownership of it or whatever, because if we do...
Where am I on this map? Oh, there I am.
You dare, little dot.
How do I get up to this? Oh, okay, up here.
Here, this way. We're going the right way. We're on the way. We're on the way.
On the way. I would like to hold my...
I was thinking... I was thinking like Barney or something. I think she's... At least that's where I know it from.
I know my song from Ice Age.
Look at this cinematic spiraling camera for no reason.
Yay! We've already seen this place.
Yeah, we've literally been to this bar before. We had to come here before.
I'm getting dizzy.
Are you?
Oh.
Celia, more beer for table 2 and a couple of pints of mead for table 3 while you're at it.
Coming right up. La 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 la.
Why does he have a cross on? So what the heck?
I'm gonna cover that. I don't want religion in my games. Get it together, game developer.
I mean, is it religion or is it? It looks. I don't know. It looks weird. It looks like.
I was just doing Aaron's quote of a video game nerd's quote.
Sorry, we're rushed off our feet this evening, sir. Can I get you anything? Drinks are on the house.
Sir, you made a mistake earlier. How dare you?
They're rushed off their feet, but they want to give us drinks on the house? What? Oh, that what? Did I skip something?
No, I was trying to think of why. I guess it's because it's like a celebration of night being here.
Yeah, I guess it's
The first night to party!
I guess so. Oh, that braggy has a twisted sense of humor. Why?
I'm out on the joke.
Did you laugh? Okay, yeah, you didn't laugh.
I laughed, haha.
I can't see my face because I have the helmet on. Gahahaha! To think he'd send you to me at a time like this. The first real night in near 100 years has folk all riled up, and then some. What's more, there was that eater business at Holminster Switch. They say a Lightwarden was destroyed without a dang trace. It was the warrior of darkness who did the deed.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah.
I look so ominous in this armor.
I really must have. Oh, you're Goblin Slayer. Don't let anyone see your face. I really must apologize for Gleamyard. He's been almost as rowdy as our customers, and that's no small feat. Oh! This woman looks nice. I feel bad about what I've done to her.
How's that a
Lots of our regulars are bounty hunters, you see. They mostly go after eaters, and the rumor of the warrior's appearance was the spark of their kindling. They're on fire! We've had to put out so many to that side.
Oh, we brought the darkness into their hearts. How lovely. You know how the weak eaters are drawn to the strong ones, right?
Yeah.
Aye, they swarm like angry bees around a queen. You need look no further than Holminster for proof of that. But attacks on that scale don't happen every day. Praise the blessed shadow.
The blessed shadow! Praise the blessed shadows, the darkness that they bring. May the night ever wander forever as our souls walk in the night.
I thought you were gonna go with like a.
Everyone becomes Wednesday. Everyone becomes Wednesday.
I've not watched that at all.
I have not either, but I've seen some clips.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go with the Shadow the Hedgehog joke.
They're air shoes. That was in the new Sonic Prime. They actually quantified what he wears. He's like, this is my rival Shadow. He's kind of a killjoy. Also, he roller skates. That literally a line Sonic says. He roller skates. And Shadow looks at the camera and says, they're air shoes. The fight was good, okay? I never said the dialogue was.
I'll check it out. No, the more common threats are the strays. No one knows why, but every now and again, an eater will leave the pack to prowl alone. Those are the ones you run into on the road if you're lucky. Foul. They're a danger to everyone, so the settlement council puts bounties on their heads, and our bar here is a convenient place for hunters to gather and share information.
Come like one of my Dungeons and Dragons games.
I was gonna say, it's a D&D setting. We get to
this is for my cleric level 14 in Paragon to go and hunt. I have my hit 2d plus 5 on my damage for Holy Flail. It's flail. It's a flail, but it's like flail. It's like brailled so that the enemy reads their doom as I hit them.
Enemy.
It's a magic item I acquired at level 7, and it has a daily to where if I activate, it shines light of a radius of 10 feet around me. And does everyone see how lame this sounds? Everyone see this? Everyone see how like the explanation of every power and the quantifications of like dice and specific fires on each thing makes it not as fun? Does everyone hear that?
I mean, it's because people want the game to be fair.
Fairness is fine. D6 and crap is dumb because it's a moderator that's based on a random chance roll that is disconnected from you as the player and any happenstance of occurring for the attack.
Hey,
and it's static and makes it more like an actual video game where it was quantifiable in engine instead of making it contextually based for where you're hitting the enemy. I'm not going into this. Continue. I'm sorry.
It's your line. It's your line.
Oh, good. It's my line. Cool. This is all my fault. Great. Awesome. I said today in church, I was like, I'm too judgy. I'm going to be less judgy. Lord, help me today. That does not work. Lord, help me. Help me here. Reset me.
There's always tomorrow.
Seems a few of them were inspired by the warden saying, even more than most. These are the types who have their sights set on the absolute worst of the strays, a class of eaters they've dubbed the cardinal virtues. Lol, 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 lol. This is absolutely like Catholic religion-based.
Yeah, it has a lot of similar naming schemes.
The virtues showed up out of nowhere about 3 summers ago, and when the historians heard the descriptions given by survivors, well, apparently they share an appearance to the villains who caused the flood. And if that don't send a chill down your spine, they're also reported to be as tough as the Lightwardens, not the kind of prey you take down single-handedly. Our virtue hunters had all been given up, but knowing the warrior of darkness out there lit a fire under their bellies. Just look at them. They're rolling around trying to put it out. It's terrible. Look at him. Look how motivated and passionate he is, leaning up against the wall like every edgelord you ever see in a campaign. Look at this guy. The Hume over there, with the oversized sword, is grandson. He's in it for revenge. Very original. Wants to recruit a comrade in arms as tenacious as he. Is he going to get a spunky side character bard who's going to inspire his heart to open up to others? And then the bard's going to die and reinforce that pessimistic view on life? Because when the only people he started to care about is now gone, as the others in his past? Oh boy, can't wait to be reinforced with the tragedy of life. How many stories can you point out that do just stick one over again? I should read. The Mistle is a Lurik. Don't be fooled by those dewy cheeks. He's as hard as a hunter as they come. He's just lost a partner and seems to be on the lookout for a new. Okay. Well, look at that. So much. That's sure.
There's more.
Stirring. Where does he seek an expert in magecraft to help him find the virtue he's after? Why? Why is he after it? Is it for a bounty, or maybe you killed my wife 3 years ago? I've never gotten over
that.
Yeah, we need
Whoa!
Oh, dude, look at this guy. This is what I want. Last we have Giot, dwarf and drunkard both. Okay, I don't like that part. Wanted to join forces with a healer, and only a healer. Something about needing a mender's wisdom. I need someone to repair my poor life choices. I need a counselor. I need a menderer for my brain.
Mender of livers.
I've seen my share of competent veterans, and you have the look about you. Maybe you should introduce yourself to one of our hunters. Who knows? Together you might even collect the bounty of a card of virtue. Is this a side quest?
Can't tell.
Sweet, is that sweet kunai?
Yeah, so I was wondering if you could hear it. Now there's a grand idea. Imagine the prestige my bar would earn if we boasted the patronage of a successful virtue hunter. Gain access to roll quests. A separate quest line and story is now available for tank, physical DPS, magical range DPS, and healer roles. That's
where's range? Oh, is it magical range DPS or no? It's magical range. Where's physical range DPS? Do I count as physical DPS?
Yeah, if you're a dancer.
Oh my god! Read the next line.
In order to reach the final stages of the Shadowbringers main scenario, you must complete at least one role quest line. Speak with a virtue hunter at the Wandering Stairs to accept a quest offer.
And we can't do it together. I mean, well, we both are physical DPS. Can we do the physical DPS one? Does that work?
Maybe.
Hey, this guy over here who's blue, is that also blue for you?
No, that's red.
This one here is red. This guy right
here.
Oh,
sorry. Yeah, no.
Okay, thank goodness. Okay.
Sorry. So, I thought you walked over there. I was confused. Sorry.
That's okay. Okay, so we can both do Luriks. I guess that's what we're doing because I want to keep together on this.
Yeah, let's see together.
Hold on a second. Let me pull him up. Yeah, so I'm actually kind of interested in the dwarf one with the healer, but I'm not doing a separate one. We need to do it together. That way we can read dialogue and crap.
Yeah, I don't have a healer either, so I'd have to choose a new class to start doing that.
All right, let's talk. Maybe he thinks you might be the answer to his prayers. Okay, we're doing this one, everyone. Do you want to be Lurik? Do you want me to be Lurik? How you feeling?
I'll do it if you want.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Wait, you wouldn't happen to be...
a dancer. Hey, eyes to yourself. Eyes up here. Eyes up here.
Ugh. Yes, of course you are. 'Tis plain from the way you carry yourself. You're just the sort of
Insert gender here.
yeah, sort of insert gender here I have been looking for. You're perfect.
Tilt's head.
Yeah, not really convinced. My name is Lurik, and I am a bounty hunter. But not just any bounty hunter. I will have you know, nay, I am not wont to settle for run-of-the-mill prey. I hunt sin-eaters. Not only that, I have recently set my sights on a particularly notable fiend, one of the 4 cardinal virtues, those infamous instigators of the flood itself. Naturally, I will take considerable strength, it will take considerable strength and skill to defeat such a formidable eater, and I am not afraid to admit I cannot do it alone. However, with the aid of equally formidable allies, I am confident it can be done. And you, my friend, are exactly the sort of ally I have in mind to recruit.
So he's a bard, right?
He looks like he might be, or he's an archer.
No, the other one was an archer. I think he's a bard, but our bards in this also have some archery aspects.
Yeah,
if he's a bard, why does he need DPS? Bards are DPS. I mean, they're kind of less supportive-ish DPS, but they're still DPS.
Yeah, they're more supportive.
Wouldn't he need a tank or something? Whatever. Sure, we're here.
Who knows?
Walk away without a word. Feign interest. What the heck?
Which one do you want to do?
Which one do you want to do? What do you want to be the cool walk away, or?
I guess yeah, I'll walk away. You want to feign interest?
All right, that's good because my cool points aren't high enough. But Epsilion, your cool points are high enough, so you can do that part. Okay, I'll do the feign interest. I'm just going to lie.
My character just turns around in place.
Oh my gosh!
And he says, "Wait, I have money, lots and lots of money. You'll be well rewarded for your service on my honor." And on yours, he said, "Aha! I knew you'd be interested, and should the challenge alone be insufficient motivation, know that I have substantial financial resources at my disposal. You will be duly compensated for your service. Rest assured."
Is he some rich boy who's like, I'm going to make myself in the world by hunting?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Oh, good.
That's really what it sounds like. Yeah, same. However, as much as I am certain you are the right man, right insert gender here for the job, 'tis only meet that I put your skills to the proof. It is only met that I put your skills to the proof.
Oh, it's meat. I think it's meat. It's MEET.
I mean, but you would have met the skills. I don't know.
Look, man, with this kind of thing, I don't know.
A simple test should suffice. Yeah, simple English would suffice too. Pray do not be offended, but you would be shocked how many people present themselves falsely in order to enrich themselves or to impress others.
That's called living in society. That's called inferiority complex. That's called Adlerian therapy application. See, Adlerian therapy deals with inferiority complex and the relation between an individual and their upbringing and surroundings, and trying to dispute irrational beliefs related to that.
Stand still.
Oh.
Stand still. Stop moving.
I'm stopped.
I choose the option where I walk away.
No! Stand back!
Alright. So
Alright, let's go do this thingy.
We got a rendezvous out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh my god.
I might as well just walk there, honestly.
Is there anything even remotely close? Yeah, but how do we leave?
No,
how do we leave the gates?
I think we should walk to the gate. Oh, we can teleport to the gate. That's what you mean.
Okay, where's the teleport to the gate?
Where is the nearest?
Here it is.
Over here. Right in front of my face. Right there. There might be a teleport to the gates, maybe? Is there? Yeah, Lakeland. Just teleport to Lakeland. Right? No, wait. Hold on.
I don't think you can teleport to Lakeland. I think you just have to go to the main Crystarian.
No, just teleport to a Tessellation, right? It's the same thing. Yeah,
what?
Teleport to Tessellation.
What?
The last thing on the list is Tessellation?
I don't have that on my list.
What? Teleport to the main one, then just walk out. I teleported to Tessellation. It's just on your screen this way. I don't know why you don't. It's just the outside edge. Maybe you didn't walk out of the city, I guess, this way? You should have, though. We came this way. We had to. I'll wait for you outside.
Go check. Man, you know what? So someone on in the dive last night, because I actually got a 79% on the long big practice test I did. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
What do you need to pass? 79 doesn't sound good, but maybe
no. Yeah, you only. I don't remember exactly. I saw the number once. I was reasoning to myself earlier. I was like, I don't remember exactly. I think it's 75, but it could be like either 70 or it could be 80. But
it's the new format, so you don't know.
I don't think it's 80. My God, I hope it's not 80. I don't think it's 80. Am I going the right way? No, wait,
No.
what? No.
You went right back to where you were. What are you doing?
Why is my thing there though?
What is that?
What? Speak to the manager of Oh, I see. Okay, I see the problem. I went to the main quest.
You didn't do the side quest. You're doing the main quest. Yeah, that's it.
But we have to do the side quest in order to complete the main quest, so we have to do that anyway. Okay.
Yeah, might as well.
I want this to be what I'm looking
at. If you, there's a way to do that.
I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Okay, where's the here? Do I not have this one here? Do I have that one? Is there a thing I'm missing? Whatever, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so I'm gonna keep studying. I'm doing really, really well, but I gotta be better. I gotta be better, so we're gonna keep doing it. The things I did today, I did pretty well on. I did a few cut practice before we started, and they were okay. I did okay. Just gotta keep going. But yeah, so oh my goodness.
What? Oh no.
What are you doing?
He's dead.
Hold on. I'll wake him up.
I'm good.
With true loves.
No, don't do anything. Yes. I'm running. Bye.
You can't outright the love. You can't outrun the love.
I didn't get touched by that. Hurry up, get on so you can ride.
It's like
man, I had to go to the Asm steps today to do my job.
I accidentally did it. Continue.
Okay. But yeah, I had to go to Asm steps today, and I forgot how I haven't played for real, and so I didn't. Oh, it's alright. I didn't collect all the Aether currents there, so I still can't fly there. It's just pissing me off. So like, why can't I just automatically be able to fly?
Yeah, when you finish an area, I know everyone's like, it's better than WoW. WoW does it terribly. I'm sorry. That's even worse.
Yeah, yeah. Just because WoW sets the bar low doesn't mean it's okay.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, well, gosh. This video game movie, not Sonic, it's not terrible. It's like, it's still bad. It doesn't mean that it's like, just because it's not worse than others doesn't mean it's good. But anyway,
yeah. Just because it's not the worst possible doesn't mean that it's okay to leave it the way it is. Like,
but yeah, so someone on stream yesterday was talking about. I think it was it yesterday? I don't remember. It wasn't Miss. It wasn't you. It was I should know the other person, but the other I should remember the name. But they were talking about how they were actually really excited for the Harry Potter game, and I know. Give me a second. And I was saying my whole spiel about this, I don't like him, blah blah blah, and they were like, oh no, it's beforehand, like it's just the world and stuff. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's Hogwarts, like in like the 1800s or something.
And more importantly, it's like the actual world, not just like the dumb Hogwarts place. It's like the actual magic, which I think is the most interesting thing about the world. Not that the school's bad, but like the world.
One of my coworkers described it as another game, and I was like, oh, that's spot on. And I could think of what it was.
But yeah, I saw the gameplay today a little bit. I was like, oh, that's actually pretty good. Like, that actually looks pretty playable. So, I'm curious.
Yeah. It's a shame it got postponed.
Yeah, I'd rather have been postponed than any game come out before it's ready.
Yeah, I was looking, Sosh is a huge fan of Harry Potter, so I was looking forward to getting it for Christmas, and then instead of coming out early December, I think it was supposed to come out like December 10th originally, I think.
Is it still in December?
No, it's gonna come out in like April next year now.
Okay. Well,
at least for the
Vitruvian.
PS4,
that's who was talking about Vitruvian. Sorry.
Vitruvian. At least for the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC version, I think, are all coming out in April, I think, of next year. And then I think the Switch version got delayed further, and it's like June, because I'm assuming, compatibility issues with
Oh
porting
yeah.
it. You know, every game has to be like downscaled for the Switch, but
Even the games made for Switch.
I mean, it's just a
Pokemon,
limitation.
gotta
And that's what
glitch
happens
through it all.
when you make your hardware a freaking tablet. That's what happens. Like,
But
they
now
just
everyone
literally.
can play it.
I mean, not really. If you can't run the game on the hardware, then
Do
not
you think
everyone
the
can play
next
it.
thing they'll do will be improved because something like this, the Steam Deck was invented that can be
Yeah.
portable but
I
like
think
good?
um, someone, I think it was Linus Sebastian from Linus Tech Tips, said that the Steam Deck is going to be like, so he's been an avid fan of like the of Avia, how do you say that, for the name of the brand? It's like a portable computer brand. They make like Windows like tablet computers that have game controllers on them, or the GPD win those control, or those gaming consoles, or PC portable PCs that can be used for gaming, particularly is their goal. He's been a fan of those, and Steam Deck definitely revolutionizes, because the other ones are all Intel-based chipsets, which helped in some ways. The newer and the most recent ones, like I think that's around 11th gen that's come out, is pretty good. The 12th gen stuff should be good too. Once more, I don't think there's any devices that have 12th gen CPU yet, but AMD never really had anything, honestly, because they never really focused on that level of mobile market. They have laptops, but they don't have any. They have like ultrabook laptops that could technically use that same CPU, but they just didn't have any kind of gaming capability. They didn't have, like, Intel was at least making the onboard graphics better on those chipsets that were for mobile. But now with the RDNA 2 enabled CPUs, like what's in the Steam Deck coming out, and it's not very expensive to make apparently. I mean, the Steam Deck, you can get the lowest one, I think, for $400 something, if I remember correctly. And it's the first generation that's using that. It's the first thing using that CPU. So like, if AMD mass produces them to make more Steam Decks, like they probably will, most likely do, then they can also maybe get more orders from someone else and make it even more, and more bulk means likely prices go down. So I mean, it's very, very high possibility that, like, the next, I know they did announce, I think it was those leaked prior to the Game Awards, that there will be a Steam Deck, or not Steam Deck, sorry, there is definitely gonna be a Steam Deck too. There is that, but no, I was say it was Switch's hardware revision is in the works. It definitely is now, but they haven't said what technology they're going to use. But there's a pretty high chance it'll be RDNA 2, RDNA 3, or whatever enabled AMD CPU this time, or
Right.
AMD, yeah. So
Finally time to get it good. Come on, Nintendo.
Finally, portable consoles will be on par with.
I mean, I still want it to be able to plug in to like dock. I want that, so I don't want to lose that. But
I think that Nintendo knows that. I think that, so the thing is, what they've really done, they saw how popular the DS and the 3DS were, compared to, like, I mean, the Wii sold like crazy. The Wii U did not sell. The Wii U, being a HD upgrade to the Wii, basically, for the most part, not much else.
Yep.
It was an improvement, but it didn't really.
I actually like the controller. I actually like the big controller thing. I thought it felt nice. I thought it felt nice. It was a little big, but it felt nice.
Yeah, I didn't like the weight. Actually, wasn't that bad in retrospect for that. It wasn't terrible, especially after holding the Steam Deck. It's not bad at all. The Steam Deck is heavy. Anyway, yeah, it's an interesting idea, and I think that's where the Switch kind of came about. It's like, okay, we can just make this. If we can run the stuff on it right here in front of us, then might as well just make that the game console. But yeah, I think they realized that, like, portable is definitely better for most, especially younger gamers. It's way better, because then you don't have to fight someone for a TV if you only have one TV in your household. And then on top of that, yeah, portability and being able to dock and go back to having it be a big screen experience when you want to is, like, still a desirable thing as well, for home console playing, like playing within your home. So having it support both is definitely, I think, something they're going to always require now. But for at least like a main line, they'll probably keep making like the light that doesn't require
the light that doesn't.
dock. They'll probably keep making that for little kids, or like kids, like their parents, like, well, we don't even have a TV for you to dock to or something potentially.
So here, have this.
Yeah, they don't need to spend the extra $100 or whatever to get the docking capability. So it makes sense. And I'm sure the Steam Deck supports. It has a USB-C port. You plug in a USB-C dongle. You can get the official deck dock from Value, and there's a couple other companies that make decent ones. You can dock it and hook it up to an HDMI port, onto your TV and play on your TV.
It must not be that hard to do then.
If you have the USB-C, to HDMI dongle adapter, a charging like multi-port adapter. Like I have one for my laptop because my laptop has USB-C ports also. So I could just use that. I actually got the Steam Deck dock because I just wanted to have the official hardware with it too. But yeah, it's not a challenge at all. With the dock, the Steam Deck is basically once you docked it, it's a computer. It's just a normal computer. Like you don't have to use the screen anymore. You use your external monitor. If you have a keyboard and mouse, you're basically on a computer. There really isn't any difference. So, and it can also run like the PS3, and Xbox 360 generation of games. It emulates them fine, and Switch games. So like a lot of Switch games. Crazy how it does that. Yeah, like people were making you can get Smash on there and play it, and it runs pretty much like perfectly smooth. I don't think there might be a couple things that are still kind of glitchy, but for the most part, it's pretty smooth. But they were using that in Odyssey as like the benchmarks when they were setting up emulators. So yeah, Odyssey is pretty.
Question. We were talking yesterday during the Rabbids dive. Someone, I think it was Vitruvian or maybe Perth brought it up, that it's time for another Mario game. It's been a while. What? Let me ask you.
Mario,
mainline. What? I don't want to say gimmick. What thing? What action? Or facet would you like to see for the new Mario? I know that Galaxy had the spin and the gravity. Odyssey had the hat, which is incredible because it's basically another pole. I was thinking about last night. I was like, what if it was a pole vault? What if they gave him like some kind of stick pole vault? I was like, wait, that's just the hat because you jump again, you dive off of it. That's just the hat again. Another idea I had was maybe just like switching between power-ups. Like you could just switch between, have different effects. But then I was like, wait, that's basically possessing people that the hat does. And that's not simple enough.
That's Kirby, bro.
Also, yes, that's Kirby. But
so
think about it with Mario's good movement.
So that's it. That's the thing you got to think about.
It's always movement.
It's about movement. Mario's gimmicks are about making him more mobile or giving him another way to be mobile that he didn't have before. So like the hat is, able to help him do more jumps. It's able to reach things he couldn't reach before, like boomerang essentially. So like you can steal things. That kind of steals from like Zelda, right? Because Zelda's always had the boomerang as a thing you can use to grab items from far, or the hook shot or whatever, right? So you can steal other ideas from other games, like that'd be pretty easy. So the fundamental concept can be stolen from the game that's successful, even from Nintendo. But having them like be able to switch powers on the fly. I mean, technically, some of the older games you could do that when you had the held item. You could select it, drop it down.
I meant more of like a different hats, like a man of different hats, and just like doing different jobs with it.
Be able to interchange them easily.
But I mean, I understand that's kind of already done with just the power-ups in general, and it might break context too much by having too many things.
Yeah, I could make it.
I mean, you can break stuff with the hat too.
That's not how
people do it, but it's really hard to skill it.
The hat has.
It's not just I could use this to.
When there's like a physical interaction, and that's all it is with the hat. That's not. It's more limiting, so it's harder to cause things to break. It is still physics can be broken. Don't get me wrong. Like you're right. People have found ways to do stupid, weird little glitches and stuff like social jumps. It's like doing like any kind of like speed run hack kind of thing. You can do a lot of weird things with the hat, but it's still a physical interaction, so it makes it a little bit more limited. Whereas like some other games, if it's like a power that just like changes the environment in some other way, or like changes the properties of the environment, like a more chemical change or something kind of thing, right? Rather than being a truly physical, like a physical interaction, it can make the game break way more easily and do some really weird stuff. So like, and also it would go against the way they do level design in Mario.
Yep.
Like usually level design, even in Odyssey, if you look at the level design, there's consistent aspects of a world or of a level or area, whatever you call it, that I think it's worlds actually, isn't it, in the game? Or what they call them, divide them. But
worlds. I think worlds.
but you'd have to, kind of make sure that if they have some kind of swapping mechanic, it doesn't let them use powers that would like if you're like, on the fly swapping. It doesn't let them use like two powers in a way like without a cooldown or something that would help like them do something they shouldn't be able to do in the area, because it would defeat the purpose of playing. I mean, you can say that maybe that's intentional, that the player who does advanced moves can do things they shouldn't be able to, but like even doing like the weird jumps and stuff in like 64 wasn't intended to like weird slide jumps like that to be able to get to what you're not supposed to get to early on. That was never like a challenge. It's not like it's like this is a secret hard way to do this. It was just this is just a weird interaction they didn't anticipate happening. So people are able to exploit
It doesn't break the game. It's just I'm doing this to reach it a different way. Like I'm tackling
like
the same
getting areas you're not
challenge.
supposed to get to, or like being able to.
Yeah, but even that
complete
like doesn't really break
to.
it because you're not getting to the moon/star you're supposed to be getting to, or maybe you just get there faster in a different way. But okay, you got the star. That was the objective.
Yeah, usually it's okay.
So I don't know. What do you think would be a good thing?
I'm trying to think. So we've had like you said, Mario Galaxy. They had like the planetoid itself, the gravity on it,
and the spin,
and the spin. You had what's it called in Sunshine? The
flood.
Flood, yeah.
Which is different ways to once again maneuver in the air.
Yeah.
I mean, you sprayed water too, but the real thing was maneuvering in the air.
It was the hovering, yeah. And then the hat. I don't know, like whatever the gimmick is going to be, it's going to be movement. But like I don't know what next thing they'll want to. Then maybe they'll do something with more. So like you have Yoshi for a companion, but like sometimes they do other new companions.
What about something swinging based or like what's his name? What is the old game with the dude with the arm?
Oh my gosh.
He's in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah, Bionic. It's not about Commando, is it?
Maybe, but it's like Bionic something. The Bionic arm guy.
Yeah.
That could be something like a whip or something, because that has momentum to it. That has range.
Commando. That's what it's called.
Like pull. That has whiplash metaphysics.
Yeah, having a rope to actually move around, basically, like
maybe Epsilion, a rope, and you fight against guys who use sticks to prove the point of connections being what's important.
2 is already a game.
Mario Stranding.
The Mario Strand.
Do you remember that amazing animation? Did you ever see the amazing animation of Yoshi as Death Stranding guy with Baby Mario in the capsule thing? It was from like NYC production or something. I'll show you. I'll link it to you later. It's really good.
Oh, that's funny though.
But yeah, maybe that because that has momentum. It has movement.
Yeah,
it has...
swinging would be new. Swinging would be new, so it wouldn't be terrible.
And he's all about jumping. Swinging part of jumping with maneuverability.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand, right?
And it gives horizontal air movement. You could swing, dive, land for a sec, swing again, like keep that momentum going. That might not be too bad.
I don't know. So like, the other thing is like all the areas have to have like raised areas, like platforms to play on, right? Because that's platformer. So even when it's in 3D, you got some aspect of that. So that's something else you have to consider. The world has to accommodate in some way. So like the way they did it in Galaxy was the planetoids. It's very different. And you'd move from one to the other, or the launcher rings or whatever, you use them to move from one to another. But
what if? Oh my gosh, this is dumb. What if? And this might have the rope as well. What if Mario was like gelatinous? So like you have the properties of buoyancy, bouncing. You could stretch and whip yourself.
The opposite of Metal Mario, basically, instead of like hard, like immovable object.
But not terribly done like Spring Mario, where it's like you can't maneuver. I mean, you'd be able to control him really well.
Like he'd be kind of goopy and like able to like bounce, basically. He'd be
like Luigi from Luigi's Mansion 3, but Mario, and you could stick to walls and like have more of like a elasticity there. Like those sticky hands everyone does, like the kids do.
Oh yeah, the sticky. That would be good. That kind of plays into like the Origami King motif a little bit, even though that's not what
No, but yeah, I got you on that. And yeah, you could like you could slap like big hands forward and launch yourself because you do like a big hand slap that like sticks and you fling yourself with that. Like Zac from League of Legends, his E or whatever.
Yeah, sticky hands would be a cool gimmick. Jelly sticky hands, excuse me. That would be pretty cool.
A liquidated Mario. I think that could be cool. I think that would actually be a lot of fun to mess around with.
Not liquidated. Liquidated would be like he's being sold.
No. Yeah, no. Like liquefied? Liquefied. Yeah, liquefied. Like kind of like Baby Bowser's Mario version during, I kind of like
jelly.
But yeah, jelly. Yeah, jelly. Like actually like a jelly kind of form. And you could like inflate and roll or something like that. You could bounce. You could seep.
Yeah. I was thinking like using it like get to. Like,
I mean, honestly, this could just be a new IP.
I mean, yeah, but if they're gonna,
if we're saying we want to use Mario,
it also fit the motif a little bit with him being a plumber and stuff. They could do a lot of things.
Go through pipes and that'd be great.
Pipes, yeah, it works well actually. Like motif.
Maybe you could take. Oh, this would be awesome. Because you're liquidish, you could take on properties of like liquids you enter, like oil or oil and water don't miss, but you know what I mean.
That would be a good environmental change, and then you could do platforms where it's like density based in a fluid, because they've not done that yet, and that would be an interesting idea. Okay, Nintendo, hire us.
This would be great. I play the crap out of this.
Yeah, you know what? That's like the physics simulators, a little pixel fix, like the falling sand game type thing.
Yeah.
Like doing that, but with the platformer mixed together. Like, I'm trying to think if I've ever seen it before. I mean, Noida is a platformer that has a pixel, but they're more about like explosions and fire and stuff more than, there are other things happening. Like they have other gases and stuff that are.
Yeah, this would be more buoyant, gelatinous, and gentle. Like springing through and buoyancing through and launching with momentum of like latch and go.
Yeah, Mario getting stuck in like a slime world or something and getting converted would be a good little story.
I mean, the last Cappy is a ghost. He's literally possessing people. That's where he came from. So you got that.
That one. I don't know. That one. I don't know if there's like a folklore thing with the yokai that I don't know about. Maybe it makes sense, but like in the Western things, it does it like Western side. I don't.
That is weird.
I don't.
You are what you wear.
Why is Cappy a ghost? Yeah, why are you possessing by wearing?
It's unique.
It's different. It stands out, but it just feels like that came out of nowhere. Like there's no it just doesn't.
It's Nintendo, baby.
I guess. Oh yeah, I was like, why was like the super realistic T-Rex in the game? Like with some other weird stuff they did.
I love that game though, man. That game was so much fun.
It was a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. Like that was like, I think that and Breath of the Wild definitely the two. Like, I mean, there's some Pokemon games I played too, but like those two are definitely the most fun games I played on the Switch. So,
oh yeah, they're so good.
Like Nintendo hit out of the park with those for sure. And like whoever said that yesterday, you said Vitruvian, whoever, that. Yeah, we're due for another mainline Mario game. I think they know. I think they're waiting for another console. Honestly, they just don't want to they don't like having more than one mainline game per generation now. It seems, or per console generation, I should say, for some reason. And they have other things, but they have like the Rabbids. They have 2 of those, which it's with Ubisoft, but
yeah, not another mainline.
It's still Mario. They have Paper Mario. They have. I'm surprised they haven't made another. Did they make a new Super Mario Brothers for the Switch? I don't think they did.
They re-released one, I think, and added.
I think they re-released one that was for the Wii U and just called it like Deluxe or something.
Yeah,
right?
like added a little bit of crap. I think that's one. Is that the one where you get to play as Luigi and the rabbit dude, the rabbit guy?
Yeah, I think
Bandit
so.
Or whatever.
Yeah, Bandit. Yeah, Bandit. That's the name of the character. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that was the one.
No, this gelatinous. So I really like this actual idea. I really like this idea. I think that could be really fun.
Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting. Definitely can work as a platformer more than like some other. Like it makes more sense as a platformer mechanic than like jumping off a hat. So it just kind of works. It works more thematically than that did.
Yeah. Anyway, back to this gameplay, which does not involve intuitive. Okay,
Hope everyone enjoyed staring at Lurik for this whole time. Okay.
He's so handsome.
Here we are, our proving grounds. You need only slay a beast of suitable ferocity before my very eyes to demonstrate your own. Naturally, we require bait to lure one out of hiding.
Our bodies. What?
Oi, my lord! Got your package here!
My lord!
He had to say it that way. Well done, my good man. And here is your payment.
Yeah, he's just some rich posh kid, for sure.
Yeah. I wonder if he's from, Gilmore.
Oh, God!
Although he wouldn't be out, I guess, if he was, right? That makes less sense.
No, he could be like, I want to, because in this place, the Sin Eaters are under control, but that's not the case for everyone. I think it's my duty to go out and put out the Sin Eaters who will not listen to our mighty Lord.
The Yamorians are like all like, we have to stay here and take care of ourselves. No one else can be trusted.
That doesn't mean someone doesn't have Wanderlust, though. As naive as it's gonna be.
True.
That's the thing. I think he's like, I'm just gonna go out and slay a few because I'm handpicked to live in you more. So obviously I have, the whole like transfer of I'm someone special.
He's probably the son of like a merchant or something in the Crystal Palace or whatever it's called. The Crystal, what is it called?
Crystarium,
Crystarium, yeah, Crystarium, not a Palace. That's like casino or whatever. Anyway, the bait in question. Easier to have it delivered than to take a detour and pick it up myself. Rather more efficient as well. Time is money.
Oh, yeah.
Now then, you need only place it in the open and slay whatever comes to claim it. I cannot imagine it will take long for something to come hither.
Let's slay something, Epsilion.
Is it like pure light? Like what do they eat?
It's the flesh of the innocent.
Oh yeah, it's a like what's it called? Oh my gosh, I'm watching too much Naruto. I almost said chakra. It's an aether dense piece of meat, right?
I guess.
Wait, what do I need to put down?
Iguana meat. You put down the iguana meat.
What is frayed battle standard? Why do I have this weird stuff in my inventory?
I don't know.
I feel like I just didn't finish quests or something.
Where's the wild beast? Oh, okay, we have to go over here.
Oh, yeah, this
I don't know why it made us walk over to a different...
We have to be, because we're behind the trees, we very, very quiet while hunting Stenidos.
Oh, okay. No, we're hunting a giant lion. That's what we're doing.
Oh, it's a Similodon. Smiley Dan. That's how you say that. Oh, no, please don't attack me. Why is it focusing me?
It doesn't like you.
I don't like it either. But
I don't like it either. Right, we did it. Oh, also, whoops. You're fine. We beat it, but
yeah, no dance partner.
We weren't partners.
Oh yeah, did I tell you I didn't realize? But I have. Wait, here. I have this, and now you have a left eye, right? I did not know I needed to target an ally and it would give them the left eye. I always just used it against while targeting an enemy, so I always just gave myself the right eye and gave no one the left eye.
Oh, I get to be the left eye? The dance of the eyes.
It increases your damage by 5%.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But it only lasts for that long. It's really short. It's like 20 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, 20 seconds. I mean, 20 seconds with like boosted damage on 2 DPS is pretty good.
Oh yeah, that'll be fine.
I need to add a macro to like target nearby DPS or something if I make it that specific. I don't know if you can, but that'd be useful. Fantastic! I knew I was not wrong about you. Come, let us return to the Crystarium at once. You piece of crap.
Just
teleport me. Teleport me.
Why do they do this?
Because they want you to see the pretty game they made, partially, but also like fight this stuff in the overworld, because that's like the whole point of the.
It's worthless. They're like they don't give any experience. You already have a duty roulette, which is wonderful.
Yeah, this is another reason I want to do Vindictus, because Vindictus lets you do instance like.
I agree.
Like
you're going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way.
No, I'm not. Oh wait, you're totally right. What? What was I going towards? Oh no, what? Okay, we're doing the greater sport.
The greater sport is nothing.
Where am I walking?
Should I on standard
Show me. Show me who I am.
It's only 15 seconds.
Okay, I'm going the right way now.
Technical stuff is so short.
There's so many enemies here. There's a lot of enemies. I don't want to fight all these guys.
Advanced stack steps.
Go this way and then turn. Get over here. Oh, that's a tree. Or a triffid.
Okay, so this takes over everything, and it does not. This has its own.
That's a technical step.
Yes. Okay. I was just curious if I could stack standard and technical. You cannot. It takes over. Technical's better.
Your hotbar is so simple.
Yeah, I love it.
There's 2 bars. What the heck?
I don't even use this stuff up here. I don't even use this stuff. This is like the AoE.
I do have like 2 hotbars are just emotes on my screen, so it's kind of stupid. But like in my actual combat bars, I have 4 of them, and like one of them is my common attacks, and it's actually like got 3 macros on it, my chains, attack chains, and then the second bar is my like stat abilities, like my buffs and debuffs. Then my third bar is just my jumps, because those are like weird timings. I just click them rather than having to hit them with a hotkey. And then my fourth bar is just the individual steps of my combos, so that if I like get interrupted, I can complete it without losing the chance to do it. Because the way macros work, it doesn't like resume where you get broken off from. It just restarts the whole chain. I really wish they'd make the macro, or not macro, make the like if an ability has like a chain sequence that only works one way, make that into like a single button press, just like they have it in PvP. I don't know why they don't do that in PvE. I don't know what, like, I think that would break. But like basically, you hit the button, you hit the one button, and it automatically goes from the first step to the second to the third. If you have a 3-step chain,
yeah, it doesn't work well.
Combo. Yeah, combo. It doesn't work well when you have like so my first ability, my main attack that you use as a lancer, has 2 different abilities that it splits off to, and then like one of them causes a debuff on the enemies, and the other one is like just my ultimate strong attack, like one big huge attack. And so depending on what like the second move you do, it changes the chain. We gotta go to Blue Reach back here.
It's over here. Oh, we have to go to the bar, man.
No, we have to get all this fruit.
Oh, look at all this fruit. Okay. Yeah, he's definitely like Mr. Rich Posh Boy.
Yeah, he's super rich. Congratulations on a kill well made, my good man. I dare say this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Oh, sorry. My good insert gender here. I dare say this is the beginning of a beautiful partnership. Let us commemorate the occasion with a feast. Eat, drink, and be merry. Oh, that's why there's a lot of food.
Hooray.
It's got a lot of money.
Lots of money. Loads of money.
He literally wasted money on getting bait, then made his kill thing. He watched. It made no money off of it, and then threw us a party. Another helping? No. Are you sure? It really is no bother. Over. They like auto skipped the first thing.
Yeah, he was just eating like a freaking putz.
I should like to return to our earlier discussion, that of the virtue I have engaged you to hunt with
me.
That's not me. Andrea is her name, and she roams Norvant in the guise of Renda Ray, fallen warrior of light and renowned hunter of Eld. She is a most elusive eater, who has been sighted in every corner of the realm. Though her movements are unpredictable, she has often been witnessed pursuing and slaying extraordinarily dangerous beasts. I can well imagine the question forming in your head.
Yeah, why not leave her be? That was literally what I was saying, like, she's not attacking anyone.
She's not doing anything bad, yeah. If anything, is she not aiding local communities after a fashion? Alas, no. For the beasts she slays rise anew as eaters, which pose even greater threats to the
Okay, so she's zombie beastifying.
Yeah. So you can see she's the she's a lich just raising her zombie armory. So you see, this one wretched Sun Eater is in truth sowing untold chaos by carrying on as she does, unleashing more of her kind on unsuspecting towns and villages all across Norvrant, sorry. Only you and I can stop her. I mean, I don't know if that's true, but sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure others can. So she was a warrior.
Didn't the Warriors of Light save the world? No. We already knew that. The Warriors of Darkness saved the world. Wait, no, the Warriors of Darkness is actually like the Grim Reaper. Warriors Light caused damn the world, right, by making light too strong.
I guess, or they failed because they're supposed to stop that.
No, that was what the guy who calls it the Warrior of Darkness was the group that tried to stop it, but they weren't. He wasn't the Warrior of Light. I don't think he was just a. I don't
I'm
think
gonna
so.
do Didn't the Warriors of Light save the world? You can do the first one if you want.
Okay, sure.
Didn't they save the world?
So for mine, he says, "Huh, what an odd thing to ask, but never mind all that. Whether or not they were heroes or villains. Oh wait, no. Whatever 100 years ago doesn't matter to me. Yeah,
he just doesn't care.
Yeah. The simple truth is, Brenda Ray was the greatest hunter who ever lived, and being her own game would be an amazing feat, don't you think?
Oh my god, this little putz.
And regardless of what the Warriors of Light were before they became Sun Eaters, that's what they are now. So we'd be doing folks a favor by killing one. Well, what say you, friend? Will you hunt Andrea with me? Which one do you want to say?
I hope I live to regret this.
I'll say with pleasure, just to.
Because I don't think this is all that above board. This doesn't sound like.
Same thing. So begins our formal partnership. Ah, I can see it now. You and me in the heat of battle, fighting side by side.
Oh,
the picture of courage and camaraderie. It's going to be grand.
Anyone who enters battle that's not like a happy-go-lucky One Piece, yeah, in like a more serious tone of a series, and who enters it like this, does not understand how battle works.
No.
Battle is not supposed to be happy.
Yeah, it should be a last resort.
Unless it's like sparring, I suppose, in like a sport-ish kind of area.
Yeah, practice is not the same thing, though.
That's not the same thing, yeah. This is like, let's go to actual battle of blood and teeth and sweat. And it's like, no.
Naturally, it will take us time to study and understand our prey. Eaters can behave in strange, inexplicable ways, particularly powerful ones like Andrea. I've been doing my best to get inside her head, to think like a hunter, but it is easier said than done. Anyway, as soon as I have determined where we ought to begin our search, I will inform you at once.
I've been trying to get inside her head. See, I've been infected so that I can be an eater.
Whoa. What a twist. Oh, is the reward lacking? My apologies. Next time I will see that you receive rather more substantial compensation.
I just care about the experience, baby.
That was cool. I like that. After we got the reward, you had a little bit. Do you want to go to the next part of it?
Yeah, we gotta get this done before we can finish the whole story.
Lou Reek seems rather surprised to see you standing before him.
Why? We were literally here. We said, okay.
Told us to tell. I guess because we're gonna wait, maybe? Maybe one of those? Oh, a gasp. Wait, it's you. It's really you. You actually came.
Yeah?
I mean, never mind. Ahem. You're here to hunt a hunter with me, yes? Of course you are. Why else would you be here? And wouldn't you know it? One of my hirelings should be returning with new information any moment now.
Speak of the living light. Greetings, my lord! I am pleased to report that Andrea was recently sighted in Arang, in the vicinity of Samuel's backbone, it would seem. Way up in there, breaking up the neurotransmitters of, in there. It's gonna paralyze the whole realm. That was a bad joke. Apparently, there was a right vicious spider that was giving trouble to folks. Now it's been turned. It's about a dozen times worse. They'd be grateful for any assistance. Is a spider have a female part to it and like top torso? And if she does, is she single and is she willing to change?
Is that a Quelaag reference?
It's a every Drider and like Spider Girl reference, and I am in. Let's do this. Let's talk. Contact me.
Is Drider abbreviation for the Nova in Marvel Comics? One of the Novas.
What are they? No, wait. Do I even want to know?
The guy with like the helmet, and he's like one of he's like Space Superman. He like shoots like energy beams out of his hands. Nova.
You can't see me.
One of the guys who became Nova. Oh no, I'm not looking. Oh okay. One of the guys who becomes Nova. His name is Richard Rider.
Gosh dang it.
And then abbreviate his name and then say what you said.
Is it Drider? Did they abbreviate it to Drider?
I mean, no. Like, I've never seen it used in the comics, but when you said that, that's all I could think of was his nickname. His nickname. But typically, most panels refer to him as Dick Rider. So there's like a long-running like in joke about that, and they try like more recent comics. They just try not to use his last name, or they one or the other. They only call him Dick or they call him Rider. And a lot actually more.
His first name still isn't helpful.
Yeah. I mean, Richard Rider is because it's the stupid
alliteration.
Alliteration. Thank you. Yeah, it's the alliteration thing they wanted.
Have they stopped doing that?
Yeah, more recent characters don't. I mean, there's some. It's like now it's done like nostalgic, like or like an homage type thing. Like it's like, I made this character up, and my inspiration for this character was like like Stan Lee or whoever. I don't think Jack Kirby did that much alliteration. It was mostly Stan Lee and Marvel Comics did a lot, and some other people did obviously, but Stan Lee loved that crap. I don't know why he did it so much, but maybe Steve Ditko was into it too. I guess maybe. But yeah, like it's usually like done as like an homage type thing. Like, oh, this comic writer was like my favorite, so I did it for them, that kind of thing. Most modern characters, they just give them like a reasonable sounding name, or like they have like a depends on how like what the setting for the character is. But
I do get why they did it. I mean, it does make the name memorable. Peter Parker.
Yeah. I think it was like a thing of the times too. Like if you're naming a character in the '60s. If the character's name kind of rhymed, not necessarily fully rhymed, but kind of rhymed, like it helps for people to remember it. Mm-hmm. Like it does make like the Peter Parker's initials are PP. Kind of stupid. Anyway.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I think Richard Rider came out in like the 70s. That's why. Anyway, all right. Yeah. I see. Well done, my friend. Your payment as promised. So he's surprised that we're here because this is a stupid mission, and we're also not being paid to be here, like up front, or being offered paid up front as much.
Yeah, maybe everyone took the initial sum and then left.
Yeah. Well, why bother going out and about? Oh my gosh, why bother going out and
just
about?
Just put your contacts in.
Small folk. No, I just can't read. I'm like trying to read 2 or 3 words ahead, and I keep stumbling for some reason. Like I'm guessing context when I shouldn't be. Why bother going out and about pestering the small folk for news when you can employ others to do it for you? The better to devote our precious time to rather more important matters, I say. And owning to my winning strategy, we may now depart for Amarang and delightfully named Samael's backbone. For in pursuing the spider, we may yet find its maker. That's the same spelling as like the guy that becomes Lucifer, right?
What?
Is that how you spell Samael? Like not the name of the angel that is Lucifer, technically the same angel?
That is nowhere in the Bible.
I mean, okay, I don't know if that's in a different part, like a different what's it called?
I've never heard of Samael. I know Samuel.
No, not Samuel. No. Samael is like another name. Like it's like I don't remember what. It's from the same thing that has Lilith in it, I think. Honestly, I don't remember what that book is called. It's not a book of the Bible, but the Judeo-Christian like mythology thingy. Are they called apocryphals? Is that what it is?
I think so. I know what you're talking
about. Like that. But in that, they say his original name was Samael because all the angels have the il, called suffix in their names, and I think it means like of the divine or something. I can't remember how it translates in Hebrew, but so his name, that's why his name wasn't just Lucifer immediately, right? That wasn't his straight up name. So
that's not his straight up name anyway, and this is all fake made up crap anyway, so it can be whatever they want it to be.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But the idea there was like he would have the same name, and then like Lucifer was like his general name or like his like war name. Like that's what he used. Like, he was in combat.
Okay.
That name, yeah. That's like and I think that's what that name is supposed to be a reference to.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I assume that's what it is. I don't know.
All right, so we warp to Mord's suit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Mord's suit.
Okay, thank you.
It's not an easy walk.
Yeah, screw that. Imagine if they warped us there when we like said ready to go.
I don't care anymore.
I
This game.
freaking love your face. So
Yeah,
distraught.
So imagining this area is going to be like hellish is the kind of the thing I was going for. Wow, the game is still loading. This is crazy.
Now
Must
it
be
is
running.
I who load faster.
Yeah, I need another. Well, I'm thinking about getting another system. Not like anytime soon.
Desktop or laptop? Laptop.
Probably another laptop. I have my eye on. There's an Asus that's got touchscreen.
Put me on your back.
Could do in place with what I have. I think part of my problem is that my system is getting too hot because I had to elevate it today. And
Too
definitely
hot.
Yeah, elevating it up today helped a lot. I think. Wait, we're going to.
Yeah, just go out of the city.
Yeah.
Leave this.
So I elevated it up today while I was playing, and it helped a lot with like the weird slowdowns I was getting up.
Leave this place. Leave this place.
Is there a door here?
It's on the other side, but yeah.
There. Nothing.
Are you fine?
And then I think like the CPU is just running hotter than it used to, so I think maybe my the thermal paste that's on my CPU to attach it to the heatsink is coming apart. Is it in here in this thing? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's. Yeah, it's right there by the giant dinosaur bones.
Couldn't see that thing over his head at first, but that's it. Do I have to fight this guy?
Nah. Talk to him.
Yeah, it's not necessarily going to protect us, but maybe. This is certainly the place. I gather those bones once belonged to dear Samuel, but I see no troublesome arachne. It being a rather large desert, I considered hiring a few trackers to hasten our search, but I have yet to spy a place where such individuals might congregate. Pity. Bah, nothing for it but to roll up our proverbial sleeves and do the dirty work ourselves. We shall split up and search the sands for the sin-eater spider. Whoever finds it first may have the honor of slaying it themselves. And should we not find it, well, after we both have searched for a suitable length of time, I say we make back here. Let the hunt begin.
Too bad this guy doesn't have a thing pointing to where he needs to go.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Are there MMOs that don't have the waypoints to tell you where to go?
I don't think I've ever played a game that didn't have some kind of indicator of where to go. Like
a waypoint on a map? Because my god, no.
Or like if it's like, oh, it's in this area, like the map itself has like a big like a border around the named area, and you just have to walk around in there to find it.
Alright, dissipate this. Don't click on the thing yet.
Oh, I did. Sorry.
You're okay. Okay. I just wanted to do that to make sure. Alright, now let's go. So text.
You survey the surrounding sands, but find no trace of the spider you seek.
Okay. Well, the thing I put on stays forever, so don't.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. That you're on.
There you go. You good.
Gonna stay forever?
I want to stay forever young.
Do you notice the Elden Ring that's in front of us now? The tree.
Oh no!
Light. Physical hard light. Hey, there's another destination.
And look, dogs! Just like Elden Ring.
Those are sand moles.
No, I'm talking about that dog right there. In front of us. The green dog.
That's a turtle. Oh, wait.
No, it's a dog. I don't know what your problem is. You ever played Elden Ring?
Yeah, only a little bit though.
Do you know about that? Like, everyone calls the turtles
yeah,
dogs.
I've seen that joke. The joke about it, I just forgot. Please, oh my gosh.
You're fine.
I was in the middle of an animation, I couldn't move away.
Right, we did it.
That's not a spider, that was a scorpion.
It's an arachnid.
It is an Iraqi.
That's not okay to say.
Iraqi? I don't know what that is.
Like,
wait, that's the no, Iraqi. It's a voice actor, isn't it?
I don't know. You know the actor names. I don't know crap like that.
I'm forgetting what that. I know it's from something.
You're losing your mind there, buddy?
It might be a character in a series.
Is this a Oh, this is a
Wait.
duty thing. I don't care.
Isn't there? Wait, there's a game dev in Iraqi. What did he make?
Interactive?
No, not interactive. Iraqi.
Interacty?
Is that the guy who made Resident Evil 4? Is that his name? Back to the destination.
Wait.
I interrupted.
Why'd you interrupt?
Oh. I thought you were telling me to wait.
What? No, I'm sorry. No.
You.
I'm sorry. That's on me. I know why you said that. That makes sense. My
No,
cadence
it's
was
a manga
that.
artist. Jojo. Yeah, his name's Iraqi.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hello. Epsilion, you here?
Wait, he's a spider? That makes too much sense now. Okay, anyway. Yeah, what is this ghost girl?
Oh, here comes the echo. It works on those who have been tainted by the light, apparently. Oh.
What we have light.
Alright, you guys, let me know when you're at the dialogue.
I'm not there yet. I'm watching the Quirrell, whatever thing, walk away.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm there now.
There she is, the scourge of Novarat, the devourer of souls, Madame Quince. We bring this mark down, they'll be singing ballads about us till the end of time. Never mind the king's bounty. Hells, we could buy ourselves a couple of castles apiece. Flanking maneuver, as discussed. Wait for my signal, then we strike as one. You're gonna flank with bows? How does that work?
I mean, still just surround it.
I guess you are still flanking.
And if you like make it think, oh, I gotta go this way to retaliate. Oh, we're not going this way. Get distracted enough. Oh, damn it! She's on to us.
Don't panic. Oh, she's bold. I'm sorry. Don't panic. We planned for this. We'll act as decoys while Rane Ray brings her down. Go, go! Wait, not yet. There's still no need to rush this. You're running at it with a bow?
I mean, that's a weapon.
Headstrong. Yeah, but that's not a melee weapon.
Salt it.
Look at me, my head. I can.
What the what? Why does that have the echo?
No, I think it was just like a roar. I think it's just like an attack.
Oh wow.
Oh, they're dead.
That was
Ow. Well, it just walks away. Did it take one of them?
Did it?
No. Come back
girl,
here.
maybe?
Finish it, you bloody bastard. Finish me. I want to die.
She passed out.
Oh, yeah, they both died. Okay.
And they're both there. Both they're lumps.
I'm so sorry. It's all my fault.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not let in like this. I promise. I'll kill that god's damn beast if it's the last thing I do. Okay. Yar.
There she blows.
Oh, is she gone? Oh my god, the echo was so long.
That's a great way to distract someone and run away. Hey, what was that just now? I've had headaches before, but the way you were thrashing about wasn't like anything I've ever felt. He didn't like
I have the echo. It lets me see people's past. And it protects me from enthrallment.
And their presence sometimes.
And I'm the chosen
gods. And I thought we were lucky to just catch a glimpse of Andrea, but you're telling me you were granted a vision of her past with this power of yours? Though, 2 warriors killed while hunting a great horned beast. A beast their surviving companion vows to slay and revenge. I've heard this tale before. I know it. Bah, it is a common enough sort of tale, I suppose, and regardless, she is gone. Come, let us return to the Crystarium and celebrate your accomplishment.
Accomplishment? We saw her for like 2 seconds.
What is that? Was an accomplishment?
I'm rich, I don't have to care. Take us straight there. Nope, Epsilion, nope. Nope.
What? Nope. What?
Nope. We're not just taking straight there. Nope. Fly us
Oh,
back.
never would be. Yeah, let's teleport.
Fly me to the moon. Wait, what? Did you teleport?
I'm teleporting. It's 119. It's in the city.
But your precious moonies.
Wait, wasn't it? Or did I mess up?
No, I think it's in the
I looked
city.
at the wrong.
No, it's in the
one.
Crystarium. Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay.
We gotta go to the pendants.
Yeah, the pendants.
Got pendants.
I can't click on the
Independence.
in the pants dance.
There's squirrels on my pants. I like jumping.
How slow can it go? How slow can it go? I must be out of memory. My system is just chugging.
It's time to clear the memory.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem.
Boo! Bobby, we're out of memory.
I only run on propane. Propane says, no, memory is not kept. Oh no. My CPU is 100% though, that's for sure.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Wait. Oh.
Is something else on?
No, it's my camera apparently. Just Windows using a camera. It's just bad.
Okay. It's bad, okay.
Hardware. Okay, alright. Lou Reek. The table's set, and so I bid you raise a glass with me, that together we might toast your spectacular accomplishment.
Ray! Toast to seeing a woman.
Grunt, crunch, crunch, snort, slurp, grunt. There's really nothing quite like a hearty meal after a job well done. Drink up, my friend, drink up. Belch. Had your fill? I've another few bottles ready and waiting to be opened. No? Oh, very well if you insist. It occurs to me, my good man, a good insert gender here, that I have yet to ask you your name. So quickly did we forge our friendship, and I had hardly noticed until now.
Here's my name.
Insert name here. Reek and insert name here. Yes, I rather like the sound of that. Reek and insert name here. The daring duo, the brave bounty hunter, the scourge of the senators. Insert name. Once we have slain Andrea, not a soul in Norvrant will not know our names. They shall ring out all across the realm.
That's the point. They don't know the name. You just be whatever name. That's why you insert it. Because.
But I should dwell overmuch on the victory before the struggle. A wise hunter is prepared and patient. 'Twould be prudent to send double, nay, triple the agents afield to seek out promising new leads.
If I didn't know it better,
know any better.
Which one do you want to say?
You sure it's wise to spend your money so freely? I'll do the freely one. Money freely.
I think you're a gajillionaire.
It's a gillionaire, like as in the money in the game is gill.
Oh my god, that's okay. You're right. You're right.
I think it's good. Yeah, it's the same. I think. Yep. Worried about the budget of our brave endeavor? Well, don't be. I am prepared to fund our activities as needed. No expense shall be spared. None whatsoever.
Spared. No expense. Except our paycheck. I just want the experience. That's all I care about.
Alright,
what do you got for me, lads? Why is these things so long? Just like, if it's a side quest, just let us do it like twice and then we're done.
There he is. Oh. There insert gender is. Insert name. Here, come to rejoin. Insert gender here. Wait, yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Wholesome companion in the great hunt. It is well that you have. It is well that you have, for I have obtained new information. I don't know what happened. I started saying have. I couldn't.
I also had a lot of Jack Daniels in my preparation, but
I almost said knave. I don't know why it came out weird. Anyway, for I have obtained new information concerning a sighting of Andrea on Calusia. The fiend has transformed into another deadly mark. a great bear in this instance, into an even deadlier eater. And so it falls to insert name here, to slay the newborn eater and continue their pursuit of Norvryn's most notorious virtue, to Calusia and to glory.
Okay.
You stupid poopy butthead.
Are we going to have to walk again? Yes, we are!
It's right next. I'm teleporting.
Yep, please. I love you.
Mm-hmm.
Fund my teleportation, Big Daddy.
And please stop. I need to make some money though. I do have a bunch of crap I gotta get rid of.
How much money do you have?
Oh, I have $1 million still.
Oh, you piece of... I'm so rich.
I was at 1.5 and now I'm at like 1.4 something. So.
Oh, okay, man.
Actually, even when we're just doing the quest, it's still going up. I was at like 1.469 earlier.
I'm at 300,000.
And now at 1.474.
That's because I buy stuff.
I see your screen. Yeah, I don't buy as much as you do.
I buy in order to have great outfits.
I ride out being on crappy. Wait, where did you run off for? Oh yeah, you already loaded before I did. Where? Over here.
Yeah, way over here by the boomies.
You were like just outside of my render distance. I couldn't see you.
Haha, I'm invisible. Haha, I'm invisible.
If I stand completely still. Let us brook no further delay and commence our search, separately as before in Amarang. If you catch the eater first, I grant you leave to kill it without me. I trust you will not be disappointed if the reverse were to occur. Surely not, surely not. I myself will be most put out if I happen to lose to you a second time, and so on that note, may the best hunter win.
Since we only have one actual hunter here, I suppose I'm going to win.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the field. Let's kill an eater and continue the quest. I hope there won't be too much left.
You hope there won't be too much draft?
Left.
Oh, left. A lowland high sop.
He's up. He's up. We got experience.
Okay, oh, walking through the area. Yeah, yeah.
Let's find this thing. Oh, that's cool. It's like a building.
Yeah. That's a big bull buffalo.
It's a big buffalo. Oh, to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left.
Oh, yeah, it's around here. I was distracted by the bird.
Alright, don't go in yet. I mean, like, get us off of here, but don't click on it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. I want him.
Cast me. Cast me.
There we go. Okay, you do it now.
I'm surveying.
I'm surveying too. Just a couple surveyors.
Find no trace of the bear you seek.
Oh. Alright, we can. I mean, we can. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you can put it on your back, I guess. And it's very close, but yeah. Okay, I've got the thing on you, so you don't have to wait this time.
Okay.
Come on, bring out the tiny bear that's not a big bear. It's gonna be like a... Despite looking far wide, you failed to find any trace of Ersk. Maybe Rubik was better than you this day, which is not possible.
He's gone. Okay.
Wrong. Incorrect. Do you think he's dead?
Wood eyes.
Wrong way. Well, kind of. Yeah, you go into
it.
Oh, okay. I just say run past him and he'll like hit us once and then whatever.
You never know.
He's not gonna one-shot us. At least I would hope not.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh, there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of groups around here.
Oh,
wait, Groot. Oh, look. There's a people with our guy.
Yeah, the reek of his...
Oh, he hired a bunch of people.
Cocky saw sort of wry hunter and a well-traveled mage.
Okay. That's all you.
I hate to say it, insert name here, but it seems we're late to the party. Lambert and his mates slew the bear before we could. So it's true. Oh, sorry, you want to... Yeah,
I'll do Lambert, that way we have, like, someone else.
It's a dude,
So
right?
yeah, I mean, they're all dudes. I can only pick what I can pick. No women. No representation! Discrimination! Discrimination!
Yeah, except for all the other parts of the story where there's, like, nothing but women. Like,
No, wrong, incorrect, no. One time, no woman. I feel that's discrimination.
That's not how representation works, though.
It is! According to PC Nation, it is. There's not a girl in this one scene. Oh, that's a problem. Oh, I see there's an issue here.
What the heck?
So it's true then. You've cast your lot in with the bull, you poor daft sod.
But I don't understand. The Eater was a newborn. How could you possibly have learned of it and gotten here before we did?
I wanted to win. Well, see, that's the problem with relying on hired help. They're loyal to your coin, not you. And you're not the one willing to open his purse.
Not the only one. So he paid people to tell him before he paid. They
don't tell him, tell me.
Yeah,
but more
importantly,
Reek, what's this I hear about you hunting Andrea? With help, I mean, rather than all by your lonesome. I have a distinct memory of you storming off in a hurry, Huff, saying you didn't need me or anyone else to finish the job. Tell me I'm wrong. Do as you like. Help or no, you've no chance of beating me to the prize. Because unlike you, I'm not all talk, and neither are me mates. Oh, I'm sorry, hold on. Speaking of mates, how much did it cost you to buy insert gender here's friendship? Do tell. Ha. Oh, you Epsilion, he's got a good rebuttal.
Sorry.
You're good.
Piss off, Lambert. Why are you still here? You got your mark, didn't you?
You should choose your friends more carefully, sinner.
Yeah.
When it goes wrong, don't say I didn't warn you. Well, I never.
That's some weird history. You have questions, I am sure. As you may have surmised, Lambert was once a comrade of mine. I took him into my service that we might hone our skills battling senators in preparation for facing Andrea. However, I soon came to see that he was not all that capable of a hunter, and so I dissolved our working relationship. Unfortunately, he did not take it in stride, and instead resolved to recruit new champions that he might beat me at my own game. It would seem that his fortunes have improved greatly of late, so much so that I fear we can no longer afford to dedicate time to tracking lesser eaters, and must devote our undivided attention to the pursuit of Andrea. As such, we should be getting back to the Crystarium, but before we depart, I have one other matter to attend to Newmore. If I might trouble you to accompany me. But of course you will. Let us be off.
Why do you assume? So yeah, he's from Newmore, just like we suspected.
Yeah.
What time is it?
Alright.
It's basically 7. Let's go to Umor and we'll stop there. I was hoping we could finish this whole thing, but it's already 7. So we've been going for a little bit, so we should probably stop. I got a big devotional for today, everyone, because this will be the last dive for a while, so I want to get all Genesis done. We've got like 2 chapters. But yeah, we can go to Ilmore and then stop there, because that's a sanctuary anyway.
So, wait, I can't go there. Let's see. I guess it's just a walk. Close where we can get it right here.
Wait, what? We can't. Oh, we're on a 2. Oh my god. Oh my. I forgot. That sucks. But yeah. Man, I like the little stories, but it's like I just want to continue with the main game.
The manga.
They make you do this stuff like a little bit, so they're trying to get you like involved in the world, which I appreciate, but
maybe this will have a payoff. Maybe all these things teach us something weird.
I mean, I'm curious about Linnea, or whatever her name is. Like, I'm curious about like, yeah, one of
Rand
the
Ray.
Warriors of Light like becoming bad and all that.
I
Corrupting
think
all
I've done
that.
the one. Dang it.
Nope, you have to go around. Nope, incorrect. Wrong, Epsilion. Wrong.
That was this one. That's the next one.
Yeah, by the way, Sonic Frontiers is pretty good. I'm actually impressed by it. It's actually pretty good so far, and I'm in the last bit of it.
Brombo said he thinks it looks pretty good too, so.
Yeah, it's good old Brombo. Shout out to Best Boy Brombo, bought it for me, and I'm actually really glad because it's a good one fun. I'm also glad because it made me not buy Pokemon, which was going to be my plan, and now I can wait for it to get patched or never play it at all because holy crap.
Mr. said he's playing it. He said that there's glitches, but he doesn't always get them. He said it's playable still with this stuff. So
if we get later in Mario Rabbids and Sonic is done, maybe.
Yeah, I bet you by like next January for sure it'll be like
patched up.
Playable. Be pretty unlikely for Nintendo or Game Freak even to let that go that long without it being fully playable.
I would hope so. Like I've heard nothing but like, oh boy, guys, oh boy, try getting through this.
The arms wide open.
Okay. Where is the guy we can stand right next to him so we'll remember. Where is he? He's at the beehive.
I'm wanting.
He's at the beehive. Where's the closest thing to the beehive?
Oh, beehive.
Is that even close to Mainstay or?
The main crystal apparently.
The main crystal. Okay.
Which we can't go to.
So I guess we just walk in. Wait, where did you go?
I just clicked something.
That doesn't help us.
I did the mainstay. I don't think it helped though.
Now we're all confused.
You got to run the stairs anyway. I don't know. We don't walk.
Gotta find this guy. I want to stop right beside him so I'll know. Where's the beehive? I don't remember.
Oh, beehive.
Oh, beehive, baby.
Freaking stupid joke.
I think it's up here. Yeah, I think it's like the
I think it's at the top.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But
it's at the tippy top.
There's no way to warp up there. We don't have the big crystals right next to it.
I guess I'll meet you up there.
I mean, I'm almost. I'm up to the top now. I can see the other right. Can we attune now? I think we can attune.
We can try.
No, we're not allowed still. Maybe we weren't trying to do it. This way.
Come on, Comet. Okay, we're in here. Oh,
yeah,
that's right. That's right, the beehive. I forgot where this was.
That's what the beehive is. Oh yeah.
Not you. I don't care about you. I care about these girls. Hello.
Alright, well.
Bout chicka bout wow.
Here, you want to talk to
yeah, we can stop here. We can stop here because we have him right here, so we know what we're doing. In fact, I think I'll let my character get a little comfortable here. There we go. All right, I think that will be it for today, everyone. Okay, so wait, can you write the name? Freedom from privilege. There you go.
Well, also be the main and also.
Oh yeah. Well, we're still in Warrior of Darkness. The main hasn't changed. We haven't done any of the main quests because we got on this sad thing which we have to do. So we don't have a choice.
This mandatory side quest.
Mandatory side quest.
That's not a thing. You can have a side quest that's mandatory. It's not a side quest. It's part of the main quest. They just made it. It's because it's not non-linear, but it's diverging paths.
Yeah, which is cute. We do like that, but if you're gonna do it, make it part of the actual main. Don't make it like this.
That's the problem. Is that the main quest system can't have diverging paths. Everybody has to do like the next best thing would have been like it make it really superficial that they're different people asking for you to help.
Yeah, I guess
the story is between the different people. Like how much more it changes.
It's probably just, hey, there's this, I want to target this, what are they called? Sin Eater, the big one, the bad one that we're seeing. And this is my past that aligns with it. and this is the Sin Eater's past, and
Sin-
I learned a lesson while you learned about the Sin Eater and about the dangers of whatever that kind of rendezvous
Senator's
together.
probably always the same class as you, the same grouping as you. Like
Yeah.
we're longer range DPS or whatever, or not longer
Yeah.
range.
And so the healer one would probably be like, oh, they tried to heal everything, but they couldn't.
Yeah.
And the tank was like, I couldn't protect. And now I also have the, Overall, the story's fine. It's just, I want to get back to the main stuff. I want to get to the big things. I want to knock out the Lightwarden so that we can make our way through this and have good story. Yeah. Okay, well, that'll be it for now. Epsilion, thank you so much for joining me. So it'll be a little while before we do this again. It's going to be like, 3 weeks of this? Yeah, because not next week, not the week after, and then maybe the week after, because next week is Christmas itself. Absolutely not. The week after is the 1st of July, 1st of January. Absolutely not.
Why?
I know. I messed up.
Yeah, and then
So, like,
the 8th will be probably the first week available. I think the 15th would be good too, because I think I have the 16th off, I believe.
Okay. Well, we'll keep everyone posted, but for now, we're going ahead and stop there. Epsilon, thank you so much for coming by, my dear, dear, sweet buddy friend.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me. Thanks for playing.
Absolutely. I will talk to you later, and I will specifically talk to earlier than that because we're gonna see each other soon.
Yeah, we're gonna see.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Like, we're gonna see each other. That'll be great.
Hopefully, Friday, I think we're playing.
Yep, Friday. And so that means because everyone is coming in town, because I put friends first, because I'm such a good soul, we'll move a Kingdom Hearts Chronicles start to Christmas Eve instead, which is fine because I don't think I'm actually doing much with my family on Christmas Eve, so that actually opens the day up pretty well. So
yeah, we're doing
that.
I have.
I would imagine most people are.
Yeah.
All right. I will talk to you later, Epsilion. Goodbye, my dear friend.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Hold on, I gotta get you up. Boop. There we go. Okay. I did it. Okay, I did it. Okay, hold on. Just chat. All right. So that once again will be the end of our Final Family Fantasy Funtime 14 dives for a while. We will be back to it, but it will be a little bit because we have to get. We have to have like holiday stuff, like we got stuff to do for holiday, and that's important. But we will be back and we will go back to it. So thank you all for joining. Once again, I'm Icarus. When it comes to the dives, for anyone who's wondering, I'm gonna try and dive in as much as I can this week. I obviously have studying for the test coming up, but I have been doing well. Pretty well, pretty good. So that's good. So I'll try to do some dives as well to try to see. I'm not going to make any promises of dives until after the test. But until then, I'll do the best I can with it. I don't think Daedalus and I, by the way, are going to dive in this week. Just because Bleach has a double episode, so I want to watch that. And I should study because he's coming over on Wednesday because my test is on Thursday, so it's the day before the test. So I should use the time outside of him and I hanging for studying. So I kind of want to do a smaller hang with him for that. So got to prioritize the test first, guys. Got to pass this thing. But yeah, so I'll see how much I can dive in before the test, and after the test, Kingdom Hearts Chronicle will start back up, and it'll start back up on Christmas Eve. And that'll be probably starting around, I'm thinking like 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. We're going to do the catch up, the Chronicle, the good old PowerPoint of 200 plus slides to get everything caught up before Dream Drop. Because Dream Drop it brings a lot of stuff together, and it really is the pre-Kingdom Hearts 3 setup. And it's where things get, you thought it was convoluted bonkers before, outside of the deep lore part, which is decently like bonker, kind of like convoluted-ish. Oh, no, my friends. No, we have not entered the true convolutedness yet. Ugh. Although Chain of Memories had a little bit in there for sure. Anyway, if you're going to leave now, may God bless you. I hope you have a fantastic night. If you're going to stick around, I am a believer of God's word. I do like to share a little bit of his word at the end of every dive. Well, usually at the beginning of dives, but on Final Family Fantasy 14 days, I like to do it at the end. And so we've been working our way through Genesis. I'm trying to do a series where I go through the Bible in chronological order. And Genesis is basically in all chronological order. So today, we're going to have a double whammy. It's going to be Genesis chapter 49. Hold on, let me get it up. Where's desktop? Boop. Genesis 49 through 50. And the reason is we're not going to be doing this kind of dive for a while. I'm trying to get something, a little devotional series up for Kingdom Hearts Chronicle. I'm going to try and get like a series of verses, a passage in order to go through each time. But we'll see about that and do my best for it. But this will be the last time for, the Genesis dives and the Chronicle kind of dives for the Bible that we do now. So I wanted to go on ahead and try to finish off Genesis. So with a big break will kind of give us a big break, because after Genesis, there is a big break in time skip, a very long one of like 200 years or something. It's big. So before we get there, we need to do the final chapter of Genesis itself. And the final chapters of Genesis of 49 and 50 are very important because they set up the final setup stages for moving in to the nation of Israel. They do the final set for where the nation of Israel will come from and for the future Israel will have. So once again, very quick recap. We started with the history of the world, and this is all true. I believe the Bible is God inerrant, inspired. It is all true about how the world really came. I understand if you have a different viewpoint, but this is where I put. This is where my faith stands and what I put my whole channel on. It always will be, because He's the center of my life. So based on what we know of His Word and the truth, God created Adam and Eve. The fall happened. The flood. Then Abraham was the first patriarch. Basically, God looked down and said, "Okay, I'm going to make a nation that will shine the light of my word and love to those out there, in order to bring them in to my love, in order to show on an earthly basis a people that will shine with my virtues, so that they may see my glory and come to me, and they may partake in my glory and love as well." So I got to start somewhere for a nation. I'm going to start with a man, the patriarch, the first one, Abraham. Abraham was chosen by God through not his works or anything, but by God's grace and mercy. And he did prove faithful, though not all the time, because humans. And he left his land and he went to the land of Canaan, which God said, "I promise you this to your generations and generations to come. I will make in you a nation unlike any other, unlike the stars of the sky, unlike the sands of the beach. I will make you a nation that will be in my name." And so Abraham had Isaac. Isaac had Jacob, and Jacob was renamed to the name of the nation, Israel, the nation to be, that would come from him. So Jacob/Israel had his 12 sons, and the 12 sons all were different people, had different issues. His oldest son did something really bad. All of the sons themselves, besides the youngest, because he really didn't have a say, besides also Judah, who said, "Don't do it," through one of the sons, Joseph, one of the ones the father loved more than the others. Yes, that's not good, but humanity. And they threw him in a pit, sold him into slavery for Egypt. But God used Joseph through all of his patience and through God's mercy to put Joseph right where he needed to be for years, for like 15 years, until he was purported by the Pharaoh, because he could interpret dreams thanks to God's gift to him. And because of that, he was able to save the nation and all the surrounding nations from a terrible famine by, following the steps based on his interpretation of the dream and all that. His brothers showed up and he revealed himself and said, "Don't you worry, I forgive you for everything. Come on in with Dad and just bring all the family, which will soon be the nation of Israel, into this land." Pharaoh's cool with it. We're all good. I'm the second command of everything because of God's mercy. We're good to go. So he settled in the land of Goshen, and then, like some times went by, everyone settled, and Jacob, Israel the father, said, "Okay, I've seen Joseph. He's alive. That's wonderful. I am ready to die now." And it doesn't mean like I'm ready to die, I want to die. It's like my life has come to an end. I have been blessed by seeing my son once again. It is time for me to pass on. So, with that being said, we are in the final throes of that. He just blessed in a reverse way, with younger first and then older, of Joseph's sons, Ephraim and Manasseh. And now it is time for the final chapters of Genesis. and for the final proportion of promises and future for the nation of Israel. So Jacob, Israel the father, called his sons, all 12 of them, and said, "Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you what shall happen to you in days to come." So back in the olden days, and technically can still happen now, though we don't have prophecies all that much, God would speak through people, especially the prophets. Some of you may know their names, like Elijah and all that. But early on, he did it through dreams, and sometimes through a good wrestling match with Jacob originally. And he would kind of purport his will to them through dreams and through even angelic visitings and everything. So he had imported to Jacob information about Israel. So Jacob is about to go through each and every son in order to tell them what their lineage will have in an oracle, in a fortune-telling prophecy by the Lord's revealing of the truth. Because remember, Lord is omniscient, omnipotent. He knows what's going to happen. He is the author and omega of everything. So he knows. He's given a little bit of that to Jacob. The reason this is important is because the promises that are about to be made, and we're going to go through each one. And I have a little study guide here from Preaching Source, preachingsource.com. You can go there. I'll even link it. I'll link it. Oh, shoot, I can't. There we go. So you guys can follow along if you want. About each of the predictions of the brothers. The reason this is important is that the predictions don't just go for the brothers themselves. It goes for each of the tribes that will be based on them. The 12 brothers are the originators of the 12 tribes of Israel: Benjamin, Levi, Naphtali, Dan, Judah, Reuben, Joseph, all the tribes. And each of them, based on the brothers' actions and based on the brothers, their patriarch, each tribe's patriarch, kind of helps to determine how the nation will go further. Now, I know it's like, wait, sins of the father affect? Yes and no. There's a lot of things about the Bible about sins of the father. And there's a good narrative breakdown of sins of the father by Red. If you go to Overly Sarcastic Productions on YouTube, she does. She and Blue, they break down like myths and stuff like that, and narrative tropes about how it works in writing and stuff. And they do a fantastic job. Trope Talk is one of my favorite go-tos for like any updates on YouTube. It's very good. But they did do Sins of the Father, and she did call into attention the Bible, and she only called to attention the sins affecting. As much as I love Red, she's incorrect on that. It's not that the sins of the father affect generations to come. There are Bible verses. There's a specific verse about one is not penalized by the sins that came before, but the situation and the context may be affected by a lineage that comes. And that's just natural effects of sin. Sin happens when someone does something terrible, it affects generations to come. The generations to come all have their own internal control. Remember that bubble we talked about, internal control, that no matter what the environment's doing, they can make choices that are good. But it does get affected by what's around, but that doesn't mean what's around determines. However, the Lord knows how things will go. So his oracles are predetermining based on what he knows about what each tribe will move into based on what their actions will be. And some of them are mixed. Some are good, some are mixed, but some of them do have blessings and curses by the actions of those came before, but it doesn't mean it determines the after effects that come to that nation. Does that make sense? And it's also because of the failings or the successes of the people in that nation and where the people are placed for it. David is not only because he's part of the right lineage that he's amazing. It's because of David's faith and the Lord's choosing of him for that mercy that he is that. He could come from any nation. God just said, you'll come from this one because it's the one where the blessing was determined. So with that being said, let's go through each of the tribes and see how they go with what they will encounter. Starting with the oldest, Reuben. Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might, and the first fruits of my strength. So remember, preeminent in dignity and preeminent in power. So if you remember, the firstborn back in the olden days, and still sometimes today, depending on culture, the firstborn was the inheritance of what would be given. They were like the most prominent of the children that were born, who were given like the first fruits, who who were dedicated to the temple as the first fruits of the family to the Lord, and were like basically the ones who gave the most inheritance. They were supposed to be the head of the family of the next generation of the family. However, even with preeminence and power, and Isaac and not Isaac. Oh my goodness, sorry. Jacob / Israel understanding that and putting that forward, still by the personal choices of Reuben points out the problem. Unstable as water, you shall not have preeminence. Even though he's supposed to, he's saying you will not have this. The preeminence and the first fruits will not come to you. The inheritance is not yours. Well, why? What did he do? Well, because you went up to your father's bed and you defiled it, he went up to my couch. So Isaac's like, you did a nasty with someone from my union. And what is he talking about? It's like, well, that's disgusting. What does he mean? Well, if everyone remembers, okay, where is it? I have it right here. In Genesis 35, Genesis 35. If you remember, and we did this in our studies, Reuben went in, which means did the nasty with his dad's concubine whenever she because remember he was like distraught by like I think it was after Joseph was sold off and he was distraught whenever something like that happened. I think he lost someone, and so in order to console himself, he went into a foreign concubine, which turned out to be his dad's concubine, or the one that was supposed to be wed to his dad, Tamar, Reuben and Tamar. And because of that, his dad's like, because of this, that preeminence and power, because that sin will go with you and will not be like in the line of the inheritance, based on what I understand. Yeah, because of the sins of the father. And true to Jacob's prophecy, no leader in Israel, judge, prophet, and this is coming from a preaching source, judge, prophet, or king was ever produced from the tribe of Reuben. The tribe of Reuben never had any kind of blessing of that, which is very, very sad. Although maybe it wasn't Tamar. Is it Reuben and Tamar? Hold on, let me look that up. Hold on. Genesis 35. No, it wasn't Tamar. Sorry, it was Bila. Okay, so this was not. Yeah, this is. I guess Judah was Tamar, huh? Yeah, Judah was Tamar. Okay, yeah, okay. So my mistake. It wasn't Tamar. Tamar was the situation with Judah, but Judah, even though he had a terrible situation, still by God's preeminence and God's mercy allows for his lineage to come through. We'll get to that in a moment. But Reuben was the one who went into like his dad's concubine, so that was like gross. So because of that, he's like, you're not getting anything in this kind of like main thing there. So no. Okay, so Simon and Levi. Simon and Levi are brothers. Weapons of violence are their swords. Let my soul come not into their counsel. Oh, my glory, be not joined to the company. He's saying this to his son. So it's like, oh, gosh, Dad, come on. But he's just saying what the Lord put forward as the prophecy. For in their anger they killed men. In their wilfulness they hung strong oxen. Cursed be their anger, for it's fierce, and their wrath, for it is cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. So if you remember, it's like, well, what did they do? Well, if you remember, a long time ago, Simon and Levi, the brother's sister, I don't remember her name, but there was a foreign nation where one of the kings defiled her, like did something real bad, which is awful, and that needed to be addressed. But instead of going to their dad, this is, once again, it's not about, it's like, well, that needs to be punished. Yes, but we do not have the right to take matters in their own hands. Vengeance belongs to the Lord, and there are right steps for it. Because Simon and Levi were so upset, they didn't go to their dad and report it and try to like, okay, how do we handle the situation? All of us together as a family, let's defend. No, in their own selfish hatred, because it was about their feelings, not about the right way to solve this, they went and slew like the entire nation, or like a huge town of it, and just murdered a bunch of people, even those who weren't involved. And because of that, they get this kind of like, So their prophecy of I will divide them in Jacob, scatter them in Israel, the tribe of Simon, the land they get whenever they go into the land of Canaan later on, this is later on, this actually happens, when the tribe of Simon gets their land, they get it inside of the land of Judah. They don't even get their own land, they get it inside another land. So they're like subservient in a land within a land. Everyone else has like their big blocks on their own, and they get like this intermittent part. And the tribe of Levi, which redeem themselves whenever they actually stand with Moses against the adultery and the wanderings, which we'll get to, the tribe of Levi become the priests, the priests that deal directly with the Lord. But whenever it comes to their land, the priests do not get land. They get to work off of like tithes and offerings, but they do not get land. So that's where they get the scattering here for the fulfillment. Okay, Judah. Judah's the big one. So Judah's one of the older brothers. And Judah was the one who, whenever, I believe, let me pull this up. Judah, yes. He was the one who, whenever Joseph was being thrown to the wolves, they were just going to kill Joseph, their other brother. But he was like, no, just throw him in a pit at least. And then he tried to go get his father, go get help against his brother. He was against the idea. So he actually was the only one, besides Benjamin, because he was so small and he was with the dad, who did not go forward with putting down Joseph. And he earned his trust from his father by promising surety for Benjamin. Remember, whenever it's like, Benjamin's got to come with us back to Egypt, otherwise this guy who was Joseph and they didn't know won't see us. He's like, look, you can take my kids. I'll take the responsibility if you have to. So that was very good. He interceded with Joseph to save Benjamin. He's like, take me instead, whenever Joseph was pretending he was going to kill Benjamin. And yeah, so he did a lot of good things. And because of that, he gets the preeminence of the tribe. So through the tribe of Judah, there's a lot of blessings, including the Davidic dynasty, and as well as through the tribe of Judah, which also means the tribe of the lion, is where the Messiah comes from. Judah's lineage is where the Messiah comes from. Now, if I remember correctly, let me look this up real quick. Yep. Okay. So Judah. Now, here's the thing. Notice how Reuben, whenever he went into his dad's concubine, was punished for it. If you remember, Judah was the one who went into his step cousin or something, Tamar, where that situation happened. That was the one I was originally remembering. And yet, even with that there, he's being praised. The Lord will choose who he will deem through blessings. And it is not our duty to choose who and what. And we have no right to judge. The Lord is. But also, you could also argue that Judah, after that mistake, with that bad choice, which he did, remember, he was the one who tried to help with Joseph. He was the one who interceded for Benjamin. His heart began to change. He showed a changed heart of, I know what I did. I'm going to choose better choices. If you remember Reuben, every time it was talking about the guilt, and this is all because of us and all that, Reuben was the one who did that a lot. And Reuben was the one who had a lot of the problems with dealing with that. So I think that's one of the reasons he isn't praised as much. But for the prophecy of Judah, your brothers shall praise you. Your hand shall be on the neck of your enemies. Your father's sons shall bow down before you. He will be the head of Israel. Whenever much later, when Israel splits, Judah is the one who has the tribe of Judah, and I think Benjamin's with them. There's one other tribe. There's only two tribes, but they're with the right side of the Lord for longer. They actually keep the right hold for longer on. And the tribe of Israel, the northern area, doesn't do as well. We'll get there eventually. Judah is a lion's cub. From the prey, my son, you have gone up. He stooped low. He crouched as a lion, as a lioness who dares rouse him. The scepter shall not depart from Judah. All the kings, all the anointed king line stayed in Judah. When Israel broke off, when the northern nations break off much later, they will appoint their own king that God did not appoint. And he'll be like, Judah is the one with the appointed kings throughout the whole thing. Also, Judah is where the Davidic lineage, David, that appointed lineage, which is the one that we care about going forward, is where it comes from. Until tribute comes to him, and to him shall be obedience of the peoples. Binding his foal to the vine, his donkey colt to the choice vine. He has washed his garments of wine, and his vestures at the blood of grapes. His eyes are darker than wine, his teeth are whiter than milk. So there's a lot of other prophecies in here, but we don't have the time. And I'm sure there are so many, like the link I'm using now, but there are so many commentaries and seminaric studies of this, because this is huge prophecies going forward. So we'll go through a little bit, but I'm not going to go through every little bit of it. And I do apologize, but I do have to eat dinner and study a little bit today. So Zebulun and Ishtar. So these are two other tribes. Not too much to be said about them, but a little bit. Zebulun shall dwell at the shore of the sea. He shall become a haven for ships. His border shall be at Sidon. So basically, Zebulun was promised to be like a territory that will be by the shore of the sea, harbor for industry, things like that. And Ishtar is a strong donkey crouching between the sheepfolds. He saw that a resting place was good, that the land was pleasant. He bowed his shoulder to bear and became a servant at forced labor. So he's going to be like a servant of forced labor sometime. Jacob announced here that the territory of Zebulun, I'm reading from Preaching Source, will be towards the shore of the sea. Often suggests a harbor for industry. No, Ishtar. His victims will trade comfort for freedom. So in the later portions, he's strong, but basically he'll be traded for submitting and bearing the burdens of servitude in order to languish in the land. So it's basically kind of like I will pay and use my strength for others to be able to stay in the land that is given to me. So that's kind of the idea for Ishtar. Dan. So Dan is all about the strength of the small. Wait, no, that's Benjamin. What's Dan about? Judge. Oh, yeah, small size. Yeah, the judge and everything like that. So Dan, just to give you an idea of where Dan comes from and who comes from Dan. Samson, the strong man comes from Dan. So Dan kind of has the kind of strength that comes from the small and the appointed. The judges a lot come from Dan. Dan shall judge his people as the judges. As one of the tribes of Israel, Dan shall be a serpent in the way, a viper by the path, that bites the horse's heels, so his rider falls backwards. I wait for your salvation, O Lord. So Dan kind of is praying for Dan's lineage will be about strength in the small, because their tribe is kind of smaller than the rest of them, but great strength comes from it, like Samson. Hello. Hold on. Oh, I have to pronounce your name right. Pablito. Yes, is it Pablito? Yes, Pablito. Hello, Pablito. Welcome to the streams. Yes, you can ask any question you want. I cannot guarantee I will have the answers. I am not the best, but I'm more than happy to answer anything that you'd like to put forward. Whatever you'd like to say. Whatever kind of questions you may have. I'll do whatever I can for it. If you have a question. So my question is, how does God find meaning? Meaning in what? Can you be a little more specific? What kind of meaning are we talking about? I'm just kind of curious about the context of the question. We find meaning in God. What does God find meaning in? Himself. That's the best, and that's a good question. It's we humans look for fulfillment, which is kind of a type of meaning in finding something that has weight and gravitas in fulfillment, which means meaning in something that we can cling to fulfill ourselves, which is kind of what I think you're paraphrasing there. God is not like us, which is awesome. And this is good. I know it feels like, oh, this is egocentric. I promise you this is a good thing. God does not find meaning in anything besides himself. He is the full fulfillment of everything he needs. We humans were created with the need for fulfillment from him. We have a hole in our heart. I always talk about this. We have a hole in our heart that can only be filled by the Lord. There's a bunch of verses that talk about that. Come on, self. You should know these verses. Well, the human condition of always searching for something more is part of it, of course. But hold on, give me a second. Bible verse. People search meaning. Come on. But the fruit of the Spirit is blah, blah, blah. Let's see. I'm trying to look at a specific thing. Okay, here we go. In John 6:53, from Jesus himself. So Jesus said to them, "Truly, truly, I say to you, unless you eat of the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, be washed by the sacrifice, you have no life in you." The whole point, and it's kind of bigger philosophical in there, The whole point of all of this, too, with the tribes, was to create an ability for human beings to come back to him. God does not need the fulfillment or worship of others. He demands it and he deserves it because of who he is, because he is the creator. But he does not need the worship and fulfillment from others. He is fulfilled by his own, which means he always existed in the past. So all of these tribes, all this creation and situation on earth, all of this stuff is not needed. He doesn't need to do this. He did it because he loves us unconditionally. Is like, I will create individuals who will glorify my name, and through the glory will come to me and have fulfillment in me. He doesn't need us. We need him. And the reason that's good is that it means that a lot of the times human beings look for meaning in stuff, and a lot of times there's a problem in it because we look for meaning in things that are temporal and flimsy and not fulfillment, right? Like if a person finds someone wonderful with themselves, right? Like a wife, which is wonderful, biblically accurate, biblically good. But that won't fulfill them fully. Even like a accumulating of a dream, right? Like I finally created this video game I've always wanted to and have this huge franchise based on I've always wanted. Or I finally the CEO of my own company that creates alternative clothing for those who don't have it for themselves. Even really good natured things, it still won't fulfill because that's not what we were created to do. And that fulfillment not being had makes it so that we don't have that kind of propensity for fulfilling it ourselves. But he does, and he fulfills himself for it, which means while we may be flimsy and look for all kinds of things and be like more waffly in where we go in life, he never is. He's always fulfilled, which means he's always content, which means he's always loved, which means he's always consistent. Which means when he says, I love you, and I will be patient with you, and I will reach out to you and do this for you, he means it because he doesn't waver like we do. Pablito, imagine the weight of having to carry the meaning of the world. I was thinking I would never want to be God because it would be so lonely to have to be the source of everything. I understand finding meaning itself, but weight has to be enormous. Do you think Trinity and then part of God? Do you think the Trinity then is part of God's meaning, like a balance? The Son carries the weight of themselves. It's important. This is the hard part. This is where it gets really weird theologically. This is where it gets weird. Now, I'm not super great on this, but I'm going to do my best. The Trinity is hard because they are one and the same. They are all the same. They are the Lord Almighty. Please guide me with this so I can get this right. They are all the same. And they are fulfilled in themselves and in their oneness. They are one, but they are three, but they are one. You have to remember, God is not us. We are made in his image to an echoed extent, but we are not him, as seen in all these people doing things that are not in him, and ourselves too. But with that, he is fulfilled in who he is permanently. You say the whole thing about lonely, he's never lonely. He has himself fully, which he is fully fulfilled in. And that is something we can't understand because we're not God. We're not a being. Even the angels don't have that. The angels have fulfillment in their duty and servitude to him perfectly, or now imperfectly with the fallen. And we have fulfillment in the small temporal ways we try to have here that don't fulfill us, hence we're lonely. We're lonely because we don't have the ultimate fulfillment of love that he gives. He has that ultimate fulfillment in himself. It is him. He is perfect love. So he's never lacking. He doesn't get lonely because he is the contentment, the state, and the being of eternal love and contentment as a defining factor of who he is. It would be like, it's kind of like if anyone's ever seen, I don't know, like a story, right? Where there's a character, like an entity, a God type entity, where it's like, I am the entity of famine, right? And that kind of individual in the story never feels fulfilled, right? They are defined by longing and by drought of the heart, and they never change because they are that kind of entity, right? It's kind of like that, but he is the entity of love and peace and joy and almightiness, and he is above all. So that's great. Povito, I feel like Satan's attack against him and his meaning and his image has to be constant. Oh yeah, that like us, if we found that's the same fulfillment of God, Satan's attack on our image and meaning as we know it is relentless. Absolutely. And in fact, the sermon I went through today, and you can go look it up if you want. It's the Church of 1122. They have bases all around the country in a lot of ways, but I'm in Florida. They have a good amount of places around here. The sermon today was about condemnation, and I'm actually reading Romans myself. And I just went through Romans, and it was about Romans 7 into a little bit of 8 verse 1. It's all about condemnation. The enemy can't attack directly. He can. Possession does happen and is real. But why? Like, those who are sanctified by the blood of Christ, it's done. When he died on that cross, it's done. Doesn't matter. All done. That's what all these tribes and everything is up for. This, let me show you. The tribe here, not Zebulun. Cool. Judah. The tribe here, right? Oh, Pablito, welcome to the streams. Thank you so much for the follow. I hope the Lord's able to shine my light through some way here and into your life. This here, Judah, the tribe of Judah, the person of Judah, is where the lion comes from, the Lion of Judah, Jesus. This is the lineage. This is the setup for it. And all the tribes are the nation of Israel going into it. He set this up so many years back here because he knew a propitiation would be needed for the sin, for the condemnation. God is, remember how God is virtues. He is love. He is all these things, right? He is also justice. We humans become upset because we have a semblance of justice in our hearts that he put in us because we're made after his image. We become upset whenever someone gets away with something heinous, right? Like if you saw, no matter whether you're for the death penalty or not, if you see someone go into a school and shoot up a bunch of kids and stuff, look, I'm sorry, I'm just going to say stuff that happens. We want repercussions, right? We want justice to be done. If justice isn't done, that's like we have that part of ourselves like this isn't right. This doesn't feel right. That comes from him. Justice must be done. He is almighty good, and for him to be almighty righteous and good, justice must prevail because he is justice. So because of that, perfect justice demands, and a lot of series have done this, perfect justice drives men mad and stuff, and it does. Perfect justice will drive us mad because the law shows perfect justice, and we can't follow that. We can't do it. We literally cannot do it. We are sinful by nature because we are dead in the spirit because of Adam and Eve, what we studied earlier. And all of these tribes, even all of these wonderful Simon and Levi, we killed a bunch of people. Reuben, we did terrible things. Even Judah, even the tribe and the person did it where Jesus will come from, went into his cousin or something, done terrible. All of these amazing patriarchs of the faith have done terrible things, as we all have. So none of them can fulfill it. So Jesus is like, through this, I'm going to send myself and my son, the one who is with me always, who I love more than anything, and have him die for all of it, where, remember, he doesn't need us. He's not lonely. He does not need us. But he went, I'm going to do it for all of you because I do love you and I don't need you, but I want you to be a part of this. And that's why he did it. And the enemy's attacks and our own attacks of our own self-depraved states is always in sabotage. It's always, you're not good enough, or no, that's not for you, or that sin's too big, that's not what it was made for, or he didn't come down for that, he didn't come down for you, he didn't come down for that part of you, or that part's not acceptable, this part. And it doesn't mean be okay with yourself in every way. That's a big lie. You do you is the biggest lie of the modern generation. I will stand by that. But it does mean he meets us where he is, and every part of us is acceptable and be able to be washed by his blood for justification and then sanctification of becoming more and more closer to him each day. Pablito, I feel like the problem I deal with is a lack of activity. So, for instance, it's hard to sit in the glory and fulfillment of God every day when I'm stuck in a room by myself for hours. Yes, Jesus carries that. Like, keeping ourselves positively distracted, not thirsty or hungry 24/7 is difficult. Yeah, we are humans. We live in this fallen earth. And that's what Paul talks about when he's like, the flesh. The flesh is all about when one accepts the blood of Christ, one is washed 100% new. But it doesn't mean that we're not human. We are not fully reformed. We are fully reformed, but we are still human. We're still here on this temporal plane. Until he comes back, which then we will be reformed. It will happen. We have those who know him have the Holy Spirit in, which works in us for sanctification, the changing into who we are to be in the Lord, into righteous. But we still have those echoes of sin. we still have the flesh propensities that we did before. We are not defined by them any longer. We are alive. And we hate, those who know his name hate whenever we do it and give in to them, but they are still there. And yeah, keeping ourselves busy, keeping ourselves active in it, that's why it's a daily walk. That's why the whole thing of idle hands are the devil's workshop, it's very true. Like when we are not, it doesn't mean you can have restful days. I'm a clinical counselor, by the way, if anyone doesn't know. You're allowed to take self-care and restful days. That's okay. But if we just sit around not doing anything, it oftentimes opens us up to depraved actions because we're not moving forward in the Lord and he's not using us because we're not. I mean, David will go forward. Even the greatest man after God's own heart, literally called that by God himself. David, his big sin of Bathsheba, the big thing was because it happened because he was in the wrong place at the wrong time because he chose to be. He should have been out on the field fighting the battles. It was a wartime. He should have been doing it. He instead stayed at home, which is fine. It's not a problem being at home, but he stayed at home and twiddled his thumbs a little bit. Because of that, he saw Bathsheba out there, and you know how lust works. That is literally why it happened. We will go into that story later because it is a big one, and it is personally very big for me too. So that's kind of how it works with that. And with the tribes, God works through that as well. I feel like the answer is a life of symbiosis, working with land and animals, family, etc. But like being able to sit on a couch for 8 hours a day without falling into some sort of distraction is so hard. Like sometimes I feel leaving and walking and just being like, the Lord give me that ability to do that. Lord give me the ability to do your will 24/7. And yeah, and it's hard. Hello, Devismo. Oh, Devismo, did you get my question, by the way? Was it Bathsheba a 2 or 10? Well, he committed adultery and killed his best friend, murdered him for her, so I'm guessing she was hot. Yeah, we'll get there. I love David, but we'll get there. But yeah, Pablito, I run into that all the time too. It's like, am I working the Lord? Am I working the Lord? But Pablito, you responded? Okay, good. I'll get back to it. I just want to make sure to have that because I'm going to get the Twitter post of like the days, so I want to make sure to have that. I was thinking 7:30, right? Was that good for you for those days, for the days that we talked about? Pablito, I think that's where, and I was told this before, and it kind of shocked me. That's where we let the Lord work through us. Like, you have to remember, he's the one at work, not us. And he wants us to partake in his work. That's why it's amazing. That's why we have free will in it. Sorry, just a bit of humor. Yes, there's hey, no, Devismo, that's fine. You are always allowed to ask those questions. That's fine. And yeah, was she hot? Yeah, she probably super was. That's the point. Yeah, that's why it's dangerous, because there's nothing wrong with physical beauty. God's all about it. This Song of Solomon is all about two lovers getting together because they're married. But because they're married, that's the point. It must be done in the right space. Pablito, I'm a religious teacher, by the way. I'm a religious consultant. Oh, okay, then you got all this. But yeah, even actually, no, that's not fair. I'm so sorry, Pablito. I do not mean to minimize. Just because you're a religious consultant, religious counselor, does not mean you have all the answers. Does not mean you should have to and be pressured to. You should always be growing, as all of us should. But you are fair to ask questions just as much as anyone else. That is a fair statement. I'm sorry about saying it differently. But yeah, like, I think the biggest thing with that, what you said, Pablito, about like, I need to keep doing it right. Because I do that too. I'm like, I'm not doing it right. That anxiety, why is that there? It's like, well, if I'm not, let's use counseling. Let's use a what if. What if I'm not? What if I'm not doing what the Lord wants me to do? Okay. What does that mean? Well, it means that biblically we know the Lord will correct us and guide us to where we need to be. But it means I'm not doing it right. Well, does that mean you're not saved? No, I'm saved by his blood, and no one can take me away from that. Okay. So it means he's going to correct you and move you, right? Yeah. Is that a bad thing? Well, it means I'm going to sin, which is bad. Yes, it does. But it doesn't, because I might make a wrong choice. But just because you make you do your best to make the right choice, because this is big for me. I'm huge about this. I have paralysis decision all the time. But just because we make a choice the best of our ability and it turns out not to be great, doesn't mean we made the wrong choice. Remember, this is a big statement. Pablito, I do, but it's hard, you know. Even Jesus needs someone to help carry his cross. But he did not. He needs someone to help carry his cross because he was human, but he didn't need someone to help bear the burden. He bared it all himself. But I know what you mean. And that's why fellowship comes in. Talk to people. Talk to, like you're doing right now. This is great. Talk to those you trust. God puts people in our lives that he works through. And here's the big thing. There is never, if you are in his blood, even if you're not in his blood, he uses those who are not redeemed by his word even. But remember, there is nothing we can do to screw up the plans of the Lord. There's nothing. If we think, oh, babe, did I make a wrong choice? It doesn't matter. He's going to use you where you are. It's like, don't you worry. This is right alongside it. I bet Joseph, we just went through the story of Joseph, I bet he was like, did I make a wrong choice? I resisted this woman. I got thrown and put in like slavery in Egypt. But then I resisted this woman for the right reasons. Now I'm in jail. Am I in the wrong place? It's like, nope, you're right where the Lord needs you to be. Don't you worry about that. The best thing to do is to ask for endurance and love for the Lord whenever we feel like we might not be in the right place. It's okay to have the anxiety. Give it to him. Give it to others who you trust. Talk about it. And as clinical counselor, process it and understand it and accept it, but don't let it control. Be like, okay, maybe this, what does this mean? Well, maybe I'm not in the right place. Okay, what does this mean? Maybe we need to pray. Maybe I need to make a different decision. Maybe I just need patience instead. Let me pray and see about patience or forgiveness, or patience, or if I need to make a different choice. And if there are verses all the time that talk about if one prays in the Lord, because you have to remember, and Romans talks about this in the verses I was talking about, the Holy Spirit intercedes. We don't know how to pray. I don't know how to pray, guys. Devotional, if you're ever wondering, how do you pray? I don't know how. I don't do it right. The Holy Spirit intercedes for us. And it's like, don't you worry. I'm going to intercede and pray for you correctly. What matters, and I've always said this, and we can't do this perfectly. This is why we need the Lord's love in it. It's the heart. If the heart's in the right place, which the Lord's the one who places it in the right place, which means we need to have humility and just ask him to. If the heart's in the right place, you can't pray wrong. You got it right. Because what matters is the heart, and he sees it. Pablito, well, like Simon helped him carry his physical cross, just like I said. What's hard is the hours a day where we are in the room and we can't just sit in God's glory alone in the room. So positive distraction is something like Simon and Crete. Yeah. Fellowship equals Simon and Crete. Yeah. That's a realization. That's awesome. Yeah. See, the Lord works in all kinds of ways. Everything has meaning behind it. And I should know more about the meaning behind all these guys because this is very important, but I'm sorry. I'm not a biblical scholar. I need to do better. I try to get this. There's a lot to cover. But yeah, I mean, that's absolutely. And even with this, even with these brothers, it's like, well, some of these don't seem like the best ends to the future that they're going to have. No, but the Lord's going to use it. Every single tribe is used perfectly in his image because remember, he is the Almighty and he is the one who oversees. There's nothing that happens he's not ready for. He's bigger than anything. He's already conquered the world and death anyway. So he made it. So it's like doing the best one can and clinging to him, having dependence and humility to him is what he asks for, that broken heart. Just like David says in his Psalm 51, after going into Bathsheba and making a terrible choice, I would do ritual sacrifices. I would give money and all kinds of things if you would have it, but that's not what you want, Lord. What you want is a broken and contrite heart. So this is what I'm going to do. So yeah. Okay, let me get through a little more of the brothers. Because we're about to go into the last part. Pablito, so what do you think about Christianity and Catholicism and problems with preachers? Like, what do you just like? Don't mind me. We're human. That's my answer. Religion isn't God's making. Faith is. The way in him and love and truth in his word. I am the way, the truth, life. There's no way to follow but by me. Whatever denomination doesn't matter as long as Christ is at the center of it. He is everything. What do I think about whenever things go off the rails because of like bad, like preachers being bad or stuff? They're human, of course. Well, what if it's a preacher? Then that means that someone who knew the Lord went terribly off the rails. That can happen. It can happen. They were still not removed from the sanctifying blood of the Lord, but they can go pretty bad. And also, and that we are not to judge. And when it says not to judge, it means this. We're not to judge who knows the Lord and who doesn't. But maybe they never knew him. But they're a big preacher. That doesn't mean crap. The Pharisees were the biggest preachers of the world. Look how they were. Jesus literally looked at them and said, you guys suck. Look at Reuben, the first brother who was supposed to be the big great one. You made really bad choices there, buddy. You're human. Religion, just like anything else, can be used by the enemy. Easy. In fact, it's probably one of the biggest weapons they have. True religion, as the Bible verse talks about, is love in the Lord and following his statutes. Probably, I just feel like pride is just a big problem with the churches now. Oh yeah, but I mean, there's big pride with humans. Once again, yes, churches, but I just extrapolate it and say, you mean with humanity? Yeah, we've always been that way. Yeah, it's all about me. I want to be special. Why does everyone relish in the fact they have a emotional disorder? Some don't, but some do. Why does everyone relish in the fact that they, like have their own TikTok or whatever and all? I'm special. I'm special. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm what's all about. It's always like that because once again, we have that fulfillment we need, and we will make an idol out of something, even if it has to be us. And anyone can do it. We're all fearfully and wonderfully made, but we are all also sinful by nature. It doesn't matter what profession someone's in. Profession doesn't make someone in the Lord. The heart does, and his work in it. That's why it's very careful. You got to be careful where you are. That's why constant renewal of our mind each and every day. I screw up real bad. I mean, I've been fretting over the test real bad in a way that isn't right. Whenever I prayed to the Lord in the study I did yesterday, got a great grade. Did pretty good today. Because I'm not focusing on myself, focusing on the Lord. Doesn't mean I'm not going to slip up again. Doesn't mean I'll even pass the test, but it's up to him. And that's what matters. So let me just get a little bit more through these because I want to get through the things so I can go eat. But I don't want to say no more questions because questions are so important. Like this is the reason I'm here. The game doesn't matter. Even the Bible verse thing I set up doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. What matters is the talking on his word and where he leads it. I just am also hungry. I need to study. Go ahead. I'm listening to you. Okay. Feel free to ask any more questions that come to your mind, by the way. Always welcome. I just want to make sure I can get through so I can eat too. Because I need to. It's not big cooking. It's just spaghetti today. Okay. So Gad, Asher, Naphtali. I'm hungry too. Maybe make yourself something once we're done. Make yourself something while you listen. Raiders shall raid Gad, but he shall raid at their heels. Okay. What does it say about Gad? Because I don't know Gad very well. Gad was brief but rich and poetic thing. Eventual victory by Gad. So he was apparently just going to do really well with military prowess. Yeah, Moses on the tribe of Gad, depiction of military prowess. Okay. Asher. Asher's food shall be rich. He shall yield royal delicacies. So Asher is like rich and produce delicacies for kings. Oh yeah, they have good production in the future. Naphtali is a doe, let loose. Hold on, nope. Naphtali is a doe, bears beautiful fawns. Naphtali, true attributes, uncumbered deer. Deborah, eloquence, Jacob's bow. Okay, so they're like really an eloquent tribe. So they kind of like talk really well. Stop it. Oh my gosh, stop it. Joseph's a big one. Joseph's important. Okay, so Joseph is a big blessing. Joseph, as we know, is the brother who stayed in the Lord. I love Joseph. He's so sweet. Who stayed in the Lord's love and continued throughout all those years of captivity on his own and was able to be the one to save all of Egypt and his brothers and the tribe and everything. So he gets like a big bounty because of the Lord's work in him and his faith. Joseph is a fruitful bow by a spring. His branches run over the wall. The archers bitterly attacked him whenever he was in captivity and everything happened. Shot at him, harassed him severely, yet his bow remained unmoved. His arms were agile. By the mighty, not by himself. Once again, how did Joseph stand for that long in the prisons and all the terrible things that were done to him? Not by himself. By the mighty one of Jacob. There is the shepherd, the stone of Israel, the Lord Almighty. I'm going to turn off the heat because it's actually hot in here. And I already got a shower. I don't want to sweat. By the Lord is who Joseph made himself through. And he always gave praise to the Lord every time. He wasn't perfect either. I'm sure he had his own share of badness. But he was always giving and always staying in the Lord because of the Lord's blessings on him and because of his faith. By the God of your father who will help you. By the Almighty who will bless you with blessings of heaven above. Blessings of the deep that crouches beneath. Blessings of the breasts of the womb. Blessings of your father that are mighty beyond the blessings of my parents. So Joseph, basically Isaac's saying, Jacob, Israel, his father saying, look, the Lord blessed me incredibly. I'm one of the patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. You're going to be blessed even beyond me, which is huge because this is whenever the tribes break off into the 12 and no one really has a bigger blessing than like the three patriarchs. The three patriarchs are like the big one, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. But Joseph's like, you're going to have even more because the Lord's working you because of your faithfulness. May they be on the head of Joseph, on the brow of him who was set apart from his brothers. So Joseph, even though he was called, self-fulfilling prophecy, was called special by his dad and everything, he actually fulfilled it and stayed in it. Most divinely strengthened, divinely blessed, wage war rage, but he was hated but bore grudge by others, but he always stayed with the Lord. Abundant blessings, describing mighty ones, shepherds, son of Israel, moves of God to pick the one who makes them strong, guys, people, shepherds, supports God. Yeah, okay, yeah. So he was like a big on that. And then finally, Benjamin, the smallest, the one that Israel loves the most as well. And it's only a little bit, but it's actually pretty big. Benjamin is a ravenous wolf, in the morning devouring the prey, and evening dividing the spoil. So Benjamin later on would be like a hugely warring nation, from that tiny little Benji tribe. It'd be like a huge amount of exploits and men and attack. 2 of David's mighty men later on will come from the tribe of Benjamin. King Saul, the first king that didn't go so well, will come from the tribe of Benjamin. So Benjamin's got a lot of pristine coming to him too. So, blessings given to all the brothers, all of the sons, for the tribes going forward. Lots of prophecies that actually came true. God's work going forward. But now, it is time for Israel, after so long, to pass, and the final patriarch to leave before the tribes begin. And these are the 12 tribes of Israel. This is what their father said to them as he blessed them. Bless each with a blessing suitable to him. Then he commanded them and said, I am going to be gathered to my people. Bury me with the fathers in the cave of the field of Ephron the Hittite, in the cave that is the field of Machpelah, at the east of Mamre, and the land of Canaan, which Abraham bought with the field from Ephron the Hittite, possessing the burial place. There they buried Abraham and Sarah. Remember the first patriarch Abraham and his wife Sarah. There they buried Isaac and Rebekah his wife, and there I buried Leah, the wife that I love, no other wife I had. The field and the cave were brought for the Hittites. So he's basically saying, as earlier on, he said to his sons, look, Joseph, especially Joseph, I'm going to die here in Egypt. I get that. But don't bury me here. Bury me in the promised land where God promised us we would be one day. I want to be buried where the Lord promised. And Joseph was like, okay, it's going to happen. I swear to you. When Jacob finished commanding his sons, he drew up his feet into the bed and breathed his last and was gathered to his people. Was gathered to those who went before him. So the final patriarch passes away. And with that, a great mourning came. In the land of Egypt, no doubt. Remember, they are in a foreign land. But because of Joseph doing so well, having the Lord's blessing on him so much, the Pharaoh loves Joseph. He's like, this is like my son, my main man. I love him. I love your family, Joseph. Bring him in. They're going to be great. They have the whole land of Goshen. I love you so much. That's weird. I didn't think the Pharaoh liked Egypt. We're not, and the Pharaoh didn't like Israelites. We're not there yet. Well, that'll be after the time break. So Joseph fell on his father's face and wept over and kissed him. He was mourning. And look, this was done, and this was not counted against him. You are allowed to mourn biblically. It is okay to mourn. There's a time for mourning. And Joseph commanded his servants, the physicians, to embalm his father, one of the only Israelites to be embalmed, because they don't, so the physicians embalmed Israel, because usually they don't embalm, they just kind of bury it. 40 days were required for it, and that's how many are required for embalming. And the Egyptians wept for 70 days. Look at this. The Egyptians wept for 70 days. The foreign nation they were in, had a time of mourning from the Pharaoh saying, we're weeping over this man because this man was incredible. Remember, earlier on, whenever Israel got into the land, it wasn't Pharaoh who blessed Israel, the father, who was like, you come to my land, let me bless you. Pharaoh got a blessing from Jacob. Jacob gave a blessing from the Lord to Pharaoh, the most powerful king in that time, in the ancient world at that time. Jacob, the head of a household, wasn't a nation yet, remember, blessed him. That is the Lord's power in that time. And the burial was honored. I know there's a lot, but we're going to get to it. And when the days of weeping were past, Joseph spoke to the household of Pharaoh, saying, Pharaoh, if I have found favor in your eyes, if you love me, if it's okay, please speak in the ears of Pharaoh, saying, he's basically saying, like, please speak, because when you address kings, you kind of address them indirectly because they're so, like, high. Please, can you say, my father made me swear, saying, I am about to die. Because my dad said to me, when I die, take me out of this land. Not because Egypt's bad, but because I need to be in the land God promised. In my tomb I have hewn out for myself in the land of Canaan. There you shall bury me. Now therefore, please, Pharaoh, let me go forth and bury my father, and I will come back. I will come back. You'll have your right hand man. And Pharaoh was like, yep, immediately. Yes, I love your dad. I'm so sad. We've all been mourning this. Are you kidding me? Let's go. Go up, bury your father as you have made him swear. So Joseph went up to bury his father. With him went all the servants of Pharaoh, the elders of the household, and all the elders of the land of Egypt. All the high advisory positions, all the Pharaoh specific, let's go. They're all like, let's go. Let's bury this man. But he's foreign. Doesn't matter. He's incredible. God has blessed this man. Let's go. They're so into it. And that's the Lord's work, showing his power to a nation. Remember, Israel, I know it's always well, Israel's a chosen nation, not others. First off, that was their mistake in the later time when Jesus came, when he's like, oh, the Gentiles we brought too, which means non-Jews. And they're like, oh, no, because they got so freaking entitled. The point of the Israel was to be a beacon to the land, to show people who the Lord was, to be we want to follow him too. Yes, come in. Yep, absolutely. Doesn't matter who you are. Let's go. That was the point. And they got too up their own ass, like every human does. So Joseph went up to bury his father, went on to serve as Pharaoh, as well as all the household of Joseph, his brothers, his father's household. Only the children, the flocks, and the herds stayed, because we don't want to walk the kids. Let's keep the herds, keep them feeding, keep the kids. And there went up with him both chariots and horsemen. Pharaoh's we're getting, because remember, Egypt was known for his chariots and stuff. They're like, get the whole entourage. I swear, if anyone comes at you while you're walking back to Canaan, it's oh, who are these traveling family? We're the land of Egypt. We're the most powerful superpower in this ancient nation. Come at them. Watch what happens. Don't you dare touch this family. It was a great company, yeah, I would imagine. When they came to the threshing floor of Adad, which is beyond the Jordan, they lamented. There were great many and great grievous lamenting. They're once again mourning the loss. And he made a mourning of his father 7 days. It was a big mourning because this was the patriarch. This was the one whom the Lord had chosen to move forward with his blessings. And it doesn't mean it was taken before his time. It was the right time, but it's still sad. And look at that. Even though it was the Lord's time, it's okay to mourn. It's always okay. When the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, so once again, the Canaanites who had the land, who the Lord's this land's going to be given to these people. They're like, what? And they saw it, and they're like, this is a grievous mourning by the Egyptians. They didn't know where it was coming. They attributed the mourning to the Egyptians. That's how much of an Egyptian entourage was there. A whole nation mourned for one family's man because of the Lord's power. That's incredible. I mean, look, I love my grandma, but when she passed, my whole city didn't come to mourn her, And that's not saying my grandmother was wonderful, but I'm just saying that's what the power of the Lord does. Therefore, the place was named Abel Mizraim, is beyond the Jordan. Thus his sons did for him as he commanded. They followed through. For his sons carried him to the land of Canaan and buried him in the cave, the field of Machpelah, and the east Mamre, which Abraham bought with the field of Ephron, the Hittite, possessed the very place. After he had buried his father, Joseph returned to Egypt, just like he said. He made good on his word. And his brothers and all had gone up to him to bury his father. Now, Dad's dead, right? If everyone remembers, what did the brothers do to Joseph early on to put him in this predicament? Well, they threw him into a pit for dead, and then they sold him to slavery for dead. But he said he forgave them. Yeah, but remember that guilt that manifests in a guilty conscience, and usually from a selfish reason or from a non-selfish reason? Yeah, that's here still. When Joseph's brothers saw their father was dead, they're like, oh crap. It may be that Joseph will hate us, but Dad's dead. Dad was the one who loved us. I mean, he loved us. We loved Joseph more, but he loved us, so he wouldn't just let Joseph kill us, right? Dad's dead. We don't have that protection. We're in a foreign land that's underneath brother, and the Pharaoh loves him. If he said to the Pharaoh, kill all these guys, they were mean to me. He'd be like, off with their heads. They're all dead. The dad was great. You guys suck. All of you dead besides Benjamin, probably because he's the little one. So they're like, repay us back for evil for what we did. So they sent a message to Joseph. They couldn't even go to him themselves. They were so scared, saying, your father gave us his command before he died. Say to Joseph, please forgive the transgression of your brother and their sin, because they did evil to you. And now, please forgive the transgression of the servants of the God, of the servants of the God your father. They're saying, Dad said to forgive us. Please forgive us unto the Lord, I beg of you. So Joseph wept when they spoke to him. His brothers also came, fell down before him, and said, behold, we are your servants. Remember that early dream that Joseph had that said, hey, all of you are going to bow to me one day? And they're like, oh, yeah, kick your butt. Yeah, look, it's happening. Yay, Lord. But Joseph said to them, this is why I love Joseph. He's one of my favorite people in history. I love Joseph. Not my most, but he's up there. I love him. Joseph said to them, guys, don't be afraid. For am I in the place of God? Once again, he understands, am I the judge? Even though you did wrong to me, do I have the right to judge you? No, I am a man. I don't have that right, guys. I can't judge you, and I'm not going to. As for you, you meant evil against me. Yes, you meant terrible things. You were selfish and bad. Yes, we're not gonna go past that. We're gonna call that out. But God meant it for good. The Lord Almighty used that for his glory, to bring it about that many people should be kept alive as they are today. Because of you guys selling me off, he used evil. Once again, this is what I said earlier. Don't be afraid. It's like, hey, I don't know if I'm in the right place. It's okay. Look, he uses evil for his glory. He can use good intention good for his glory too. Still think before you act and stuff. It's okay to make plans and stuff and pray about it. Point is, he will use everything. He meant it good to save all these people. All these people are here. The nation of Egypt is the way it is because God was able to work through me. And because of that, the famine hasn't killed all these people. We're here. So do not fear. I will provide for you and your little ones. I provide mercy. I forgive you. Thus he comforted them and spoke kindly to them. Notice, they're the ones who did the wrong, and yet it was the one who was wronged who is comforting them. That is a heart of humility right there. That is a greatest servant, and that is a leader. That's awesome. I love my best boy. I love Joseph so much. Speaking of Joseph, and speaking of there's always a time to cry, and it's always okay. So Joseph remained in Egypt, he and his father's house, all the brothers. Joseph lived 110 years. Now, once again, we don't know if that's exactly literal. I think it's literal. I think back then they were able to live longer because of the residual effects of the fruit and everlasting life and all that. That's a theory thing. I could be very wrong. Don't go with me on that. Point is, he lived a very long time. And Joseph saw Ephraim, his children's children of the third generation. So he's like great-great-grandpa or something still alive. Children also of Machir and the son of Manasseh were counted as Joseph's own. So he brought all of his kids in, says, don't you worry, you're going to be in the household. He was loving and wonderful, and I love him, and the Lord was working him amazingly. Joseph said to his brothers, old man Joseph, I am about to die, but God will visit you and bring you up out of this land to the land that he swore to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob our father. So remember, he said, don't you worry. We're in Egypt right now, and it's going well. But one day, we will return to that land. Do not worry. That promise will still stand. It may be years in the future. Remember, God's time is not our time. It may be years, decades, hundreds of years. But it will happen. And Joseph made the sons of Israel swear, his brothers swear, God will surely visit you, and he will carry up my bones from here. Joseph said, I'm going to die here. And yes, my bones and place will be buried in Egypt for now. But when the time comes to return, as a confirmation of the promise as well, I want you to promise me. Maybe it was for his brothers, and the lineage's faith that God would actually take them back to the promised land. Being when that happens, not if, when, to kind of increase their faith with it maybe. When it happens, I want you to take my bones, my dead body, my aspect, and take it to the land of Canaan. So Joseph died, 110 years old. They embalmed him, put him in a coffin in Egypt for now. Because as he said, the Lord will move them. And that is the end of Genesis. Ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We have gone through all of Genesis. Pat yourselves on the back. You know the beginning of the Bible now. We skipped one lineage thing. One this began him and he began him and stuff. It was one chapter. I skipped a little bit of that. I think it was chapter 10 and something like that. It was pretty early. It was important. Everything in the Bible was important, but it's not the bigger thing. So pat yourselves on the back. You guys have seen all of Genesis. You know the beginning of God's creation, and you know how the nation of Israel started as one man that God promised, that the promise is still not fully fulfilled yet. Jesus is fulfilled in the first part, but the land being given to the Jews, the land of coming back and providing for the whole of the world has still not been fulfilled, and it will one day. So, with that being said, that is the end of our biblical study of Genesis. When we get back to Final Family Fantasy Funtime 14, or as we call it, we will be going into Exodus. And just as we're going to have a 3-week break before we do that, it's going to be a while biblically, because right now, Israel's pretty good in Egypt, right? Even with Joseph dead, they're still yeah, I remember Joseph, he was awesome, we're going to take care of you guys. It's great. It's wonderful, right? And Israel's going to multiply and it's going to be great. The nation's going to be born. So surely when we go skip into the future, things will be like they are now, right? Like, is Egypt liking Israel? Because, nations are not changing, right? Because we humans are not changing, just like the Lord's not changing. So surely a nation won't change. Surely a nation isn't flippant and flippy floppy and washy in their statements and principles like we humans who create them are. No, surely they're everlasting in what they stand for. America. Yeah, there's going to be some big changes, and they're not good. But they are good in a way because the Lord will use them for probably one of the biggest amazing showings of his power and glory that the world has ever seen, besides Jesus literally coming down here. Anyway, I am going to head off for now and cook and probably study a little bit. Thank you all so much for stopping by. May God bless you. Keep your eyes on Icarus_redeemed on Twitter if you would like. And that's where I'm going to put, it's just Icarus Redeemed like the channel, but there's an underscore between the two because someone already took Icarus Redeemed. That's where I'm going to put the schedule for, the Kingdom Hearts Chronicle and everything. And where I'm going to put if I'm going live at other times as well. Thanks, man. Oh, thanks to you too, Poplito. You're always welcome here. And we always try to share the Lord's love, and questions are always welcome. Love it. It helps to chat interaction, and more importantly, it helps us talk about the Lord. Devotional. Cheers, Icarus. Have a great week. When is the test? Thursday, December 22nd. December 22nd, everyone. I will not be on here. Well, if I pass, maybe I'll do an extra stream in Triumph. If not, you dang well better believe I'm not coming on here. I don't want to. Look, praise the Lord no matter what happens, but I'm going to need some. There is a time for mourning, and I will take it. So that's why we're not going to start Kingdom Hearts Chronicle then either. Best of luck, Icarus. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Devotional. The Lord's with me, and I know he'll bless me no matter what happens. I'm going to do my best. All right. Goodbye, everyone. I'm going to go make dinner. Where is the end? Goodbye.